Mtangazaji mnafahamu kwa mmefurahi sana. Hii si ile time tulikuwa tunajificha. I was talking to my friend anaitwa nani? Wakulia. Tulikuwa tunaongea na yeye hapa. Akaniambia tulikuwa tunatoroka. He could remember. He was here then. Wakati tulikuwa watu 18. Na sasa naona is a family that is growing. Good morning. I want us to start. For those who don't know me, mi naitwa Nicholas Kegondu. Na ni member wa hii Sacco, a proud member of Mtangazaji Sacco. Na mimi pia ni wa familia ya KBC. Na tumefurahi sana venye mmefika asubuhi. I will be doing the MC duties alongside my brother Alilo. Na tunataka tukibize hii kitu cause ile kitu, who knows tunafanya nini hapa leo? Why are you here, Moha?
We are here to I think there is an election, that's what I was told. That's one. And second is to, whatever we discussed the last general meeting, is we need where we are, what was achieved, and where we're going to take in the next 1 year again.
Very good students. No wonder umegrow haraka sana kwa hii industry. Tuko hapa kwa nini?
We are here basically for the elections, to try and see if the people elected are doing well.
Nilikuwa nagoja sana aseme mambo ya dividends, but we are here for the annual general meeting. Okay. Nilikuwa nataka mtu aseme dividends. I know most of you want to hear. Kama dividends ni kama last year, dividend ni 2% ama whatever it is to be announced. I don't know. Hata mimi nitajua leo. I want us to start the national anthem. So tunaweza simama. Then Bishop, now that the bishop is here, is going to offer us the opening prayers after the national anthem. Wenye tuko na kofia tunaweza toa. Let's be patriotic. National anthem.
Baba, katika jina la Yesu Kristo, tunasema ni asante kwa mwaka mzima. Umetulinda, umetuonekania. Mungu mtakatifu, tuko hapa baada ya mwaka mzima tangu tuwe mahali hapa. Tunachukua hii Bwana sio kwa mzaha. Mungu mtakatifu, tumeona ukifanya mambo makubwa kupitia Mtangazaji Sacco. Tunaendelea Bwana kuandikisha ushindi na furaha na neema. Mungu mtakatifu, ni asante kwa viongozi ambao umetupatia katika sako hii. Na tunapokutana mahali hapa, wacha Bwana umoja huu wetu uwe Bwana unaleta utukufu kwa jina lako. Mungu mtakatifu, tunaomba kwa sababu watu kukusanyika kwa sako ili wajiendeleshe kimaisha. Tunaomba Mungu mtakatifu ya kwamba baada ya mambo yote, kila mmoja wetu atakumbuka sako hii kwa maendeleo na kwa mafanikio tuliyopata kutoka mahali hapa. Na sifa na utukufu ni kwako. Mkutano huu tunauweka mikononi mwako. Kwamba Bwana, kwa roho wako na kwa uweza wako ukatuelekeze, ukambariki programu yetu, ukaiwezeshe. Hekima yako Bwana ikawe ndio kati ya mambo yanayoendelea hapa. Na mwishowe Bwana tukaone utukufu wa jina lako. Na ni katika jina la Yesu tumeomba na kuamini. Amen.
Amen. Waswahili husema hayawi hayawi hatimaye huwa. Chairman, the floor is yours. Ni chairman ama ni chairperson?
Chairman, inakubalika pia. Good morning members. Are you proud to be members of Mtangazaji Sacco baridi? This is your day, and first of all I want to welcome you to our AGM. And I know some people have said that we are here because of the elections. I know Hatutaki kusema mambo ya pesa na pesa haitaki kelele, si ndio? Welcome. We have in presence with us the members from the Ministry of Cooperatives, the Auditor's Office, and also the board. And you, our esteemed guests today. We are here as Mtangazaji because of you. And I welcome you all. Let's feel at home. And if there is any communications that you want it passed, feel free. This is your day. Karibuni sana.
Makofi mzuri ya chair. Amemchallenge akamwambia kwa nini mnakaa mko na baridi. Sawa. Secretary.
Good morning, members. So I will read the notice which invited us for the AGM today. We shared the notice on 13th of February this month, inviting you to the meeting today, Saturday, 28th February, from 9 to 1. The meeting agenda, confirmation of the previous minutes of the meeting which we had last year on the 29th of March, the chairperson's report, the supervisory committee's report, auditor's report, treasurer's report, consideration and adoption of the budget of the financial year 2026 and 2027, appointment of auditors, elections, resolutions, and any other business for which 14 days of notice was given. This notice was shared to, it was copied to the Starehe District Cooperative Officer, who is here with us, all Sacco branches, the Managing Director of KBC, and the Chief Security Officer. I think before I go into reading the previous minutes, we may have skipped a stage of introductions. So I will invite Nicholas to quickly have those done, then I can go to the previous minutes. Karibu, Nicholas.
Okay. Sijui kwa nini niliona kama tunajuana wote. We'll start from the back and then come this way. It is good to announce at this time that tuko kwa anga, kwa nchi kavu na kwa maji. We are online. This meeting is online as well. And to also announce that whoever would want to take a loan, that the credit committee members are here. We are fully here. I'm a member of the credit committee. Kama uko na litaji la loan, apply saa hii tuko hapa. Sawa?
Good morning. I'm Lynette Orangi, new member.
Good morning. I'm Justin Simiyu, a member. Good morning. Beatrice Njero, a member.
Morning. I'm Joyce Ojambo and I'm a new member.
Morning. Simeon Wambanga, member.
Good morning. My name is Henry Bichanga, member.
Good morning. My name is John Abduba.
Good morning. My name is Ian Ouma, a member.
Hello, good morning. My name is Oma Oscar. I'm a member.
Good morning. My name is Weldon Kiroi. I'm a founding member of Mtangazaji number 14.
Good morning. I'm Moses Gitari, also near founding member number 180.
Good morning. My name is Hunja Masharia. I'm a member of the, it's called what? I forgot, the supervisory committee.
Morning. Frederick Lugunda, member.
Karisa Bisaidi, mwanachama.
Francis Ngala, member.
Good morning. Stanley Mwangi, secretary to the supervisory committee.
Good morning. My name is Mohammed Elmi, the first Somali, the first Muslim to join Mtangazaji Sacco.
Morning, members. My name is Frederick Oumariro, member of the Education Committee.
Morning. Auma Odaro, old member.
My name is Philemon Emongonyang, member from Kisumu.
Zadok Khabochi, member from Timbroa.
Muga Odhiambo, member from Webuye TX.
Good morning. I'm Shafan Owor, a member also from Vuria.
Praise the Lord. I'm Wamboi Maina, Secretariat at Mtangazaji.
Good morning, members. My name is Jane Nduku Festus. I'm the treasurer.
Good morning, members. My name is Lynette Namai. I'm the secretary to the credit committee. And as my colleague has said, mu-apply loans are easy to tuwashughulikie.
Good morning, members. My name is Benson Nyagaka. I'm a member to the committee, education. Thank you.
Good morning. My name is Shankaran Abrahams. I'm a member.
Good morning. My name is Ipora Lal, chairperson, supervisory committee.
Good morning. Mimi ndio Achenga.
Good morning. Mimi ndio Joseph Napali. I'm the credit chair.
Good morning. Mimi ndio chairman wenu. Mulikataa kuniita chairperson, so chairman nimekubali. Winnie Cherono.
Morning, members. Bwana asifiwe. My name is Eustace Jero, founder member. I have found it difficult to join the outer world and leave you people. Kwa hiyo mkitaka kunifukuza mtaniambia, hakutakuwa na vita. Mtanifukuza nitoke pole pole. Otherwise, I'm happy. I'm excited to be among us, you members. Thank you.
Yes, good morning. Sasa mimi ndio Brian Obiero kutoka Cooperative Ministry Auditor for the accounts today.
Good morning, everyone. Happy New Year. My name is Brenda Odera, Cooperative Officer, Starehe Sub-County. I'm happy to be here. Thank you.
How do you regulators wetu? Kama wako hapa mkutano haiwezi endelea. Nimeona.
Good morning, everyone. My name is George Kahara, Accounts Assistant Mtangazaji Sacco.
I've seen some two people who have joined us. Hataki strangers.
Good morning. My name is Jonathan Mboya, and I'm a member here.
Morning, everyone. I'm Stanley Madenge, Radio Taifa. I'm a member.
Before Catherine, Kate, as I call her, confirms the previous minute, there's a request that has been requested by Moha. Sijui kama itakuwa kwa vile vile tutaconfirm leo. Akasema hii mkutano mmefanyanga wakati wako Ramadhan, wakati amefunga. So on behalf of the Muslim brothers within this community, akasema cause yeye hata kunywa maji, hata hiyo pesa yake mkuu mnamwekea. So I don't know it was Kate.
To be considered. So thank you. Can I first get a proposer and a seconder for the notice of motion, which I read earlier? Proposer to confirm that muliona hiyo notice ikileta hii mkutano. Okay, so I have Ontieri and Nicholas. Proposing Ontieri, seconding Nicholas. So I'll go straight to the previous minutes of our last meeting, which was held on 29th of March, 2025. I hope you have copies of the minutes. So the meeting that day began at 10:30. The AGM notice was given. Confirmation of the previous minutes, which were done on 23rd of March, 2024. We had the chair, supervisory and treasurer's report, consideration and adoption of the budget of the financial year 2024-2025, auditor's report, and the presentation of audited accounts, appointment of auditors, resolution, elections, and any other business. So we started with preliminaries. Last year, just like this year, our bishop read for us the first opening prayer. Then I read the minutes and gave the notice of motion. Minute 1 was the AGM notice, which was read on 14th of March, and the meeting held. This was proposed by John Abduba and seconded by Tyson Zenge. Minute 2, confirmation of the previous minutes, which were read, and the minutes were adopted as the true records of the deliberations. Proposer was Concepta Auma, seconder was Nicholas Kigondu. Matters arising from the previous minutes, Henry Bichange requested to know how many members had been recruited during the year, and also some of the members who had exited. Then we had John Mponda proposed to have the Sacco set up a tent frequently at the gate for continuous recruitment. Moses Gitari proposed the Sacco puts up signage within the corporation, as well as reward members who refer members to join the Sacco. He also challenged the leadership to scale up recruitment of new members. Mohamed Elmi proposed the Sacco have a strategic partnerships to enhance our visibility. Concepta Uma urged members to exercise caution and ensure members recruited from outside KBC were of good character to avoid challenges of default. Responses to some of those matters, the treasurer informed members 7 people had been recruited, while 2 members who had reached retirement age opted to exit the Sacco. The chair of the supervisory committee informed members 1 new member had joined the Sacco on the morning of the AGM, which totaled 8. Eustace informed the meeting there was a reward already in place for any member who referred a new member to the Sacco and urged members to recruit new members. Minute 3 was the chair's report read by the chairperson, Winnie Cherono, who highlighted the following achievements that the Sacco had done in the previous year, as well as the challenges. Education and awareness. She also spoke about loan repayments, membership growth, investments, timely payments, and the Sacco's performance. We had an education day in the previous year. The loan uptake was commendable. The Sacco had a marketing week in October 2024, and there were also plans to continue with such similar drives. We had diversified our portfolio, investment portfolio. The Sacco had remained consistent in disbursing loans and dividends, and all suppliers were paid on time. We had recorded a strong financial year driven by direct debits. And also for microloans below 50, there were some proposals that were done in her report. Then the fee for increment in those proposals was meant to cover our administrative costs and improve service efficiency while remaining affordable. In terms of challenges, they remained delayed remittances and member engagement. That was mostly by the employer, who was not remitting on time, and members were still not fully utilizing the products available. In terms of the way forward from that particular report was to expand financial literacy, increase marketing and recruitment, review the loan policy to introduce a loan processing fee and strategic partnerships. The report was adopted, proposed by Elijah Ombui and seconded by Henry Bichange. Matters arising from the chair's report, Bichange sought clarity on the loan processing fee, and Elmi proposed the setting up of a tent outside KBC to market to external members, and the Sacco builds an online presence. Responses, Eustace Njeru, he clarified the loan processing fee was meant to assist in meeting the administrative costs to avoid dipping into the Sacco's income. Minute 4 was the supervisory report, which was presented by the chair, Zipporah Alal, who highlighted the following issues in her report: direct debit, trial balance, bank statements, creditors, defaulters, website, M-Pesa, Airtel, Kopkwa Jirani, insurance, Karibu loan. And some of the main issues was the committee observed a majority of members were still on direct debit.
but some members were defaulting after withdrawing funds before the deduction, so she called for prudence of meeting our financial obligations. The reconciliation entries of the books were okay. One retiree was yet to receive his funds as his deductions were through the payroll. So therefore, we were waiting for the employer to remit the funds before he was paid. Metabel was yet to settle the 250,000 owed to the Sacco, along with James Biano, who owed the Sacco 36,000. The website, a committee was pursuing this. M-Pesa, the apps were active with minimal returns. Our insurance was up to date, and also they recommended we hold pending development of guidelines for the Karibu loan. This report was proposed by Moses Gitari and seconded by Weldon Kirui. Matters arising from the supervisory report, Henry Bichange sought clarity on the steps taken to recover funds from the defaulters. In terms of responses, Weldon Kirui, he informed the meeting he was able to reach the father of one of the defaulters, specifically Metabel, and he requested to be issued with a demand letter to follow up through her next of kin as she occasionally visited the country. John Ponda requested to have the demand letter issued within the confines of the law. Then minute 5, the treasurer's report, which was read by the treasurer, Zen Duko. The highlights were on revenue and other income, expenses, member deposits. And here she highlighted there was an increase in the uptake of loans, but there was a drop in income due to delayed remittances by the employer, which was costing us in terms of the interest. Operating income from investments of Coop Bank grew by 2%. Expenses were increased by 12%, mainly due to marketing and education activities carried out during the year. Despite this, all expenditures remained within the allocated budget. Members' deposits, adoption of monthly deductions via direct debit had increased the total loans. Members on the payroll were urged to switch to direct debit to address our persistent concern. But generally, the Sacco had shown strong performance, particularly in disbursements and investments. However, income had dropped due to the delayed remittances. This was adopted as follows: Proposer Mohammed Elmi and seconded by Isaiah Kakoma. Minute 6, the budget. The treasurer presented the 2025-2026 proposed budget. Projected income for 2025 was put at 5.8 million and expenditure at 3.4, with a projected surplus of 2.3 million. The 2026 projected income was 5.9 million against a projected expenditure of 3.45, with a surplus projection of 2.45 million. All activities were within the approved budget, and this was proposed by Nicholas Kigondu and seconded by Tyson Nzenge. There were no matters arising from the treasurer's report. Minute 7, the auditor's report. This was read by Faith Olera, who read out the findings from our audited accounts. The main source of income was noted as interest on loans to members, which was at about 2.4 million, and it was also noted that the Sacco had a net revenue of 2.6 against an expense of 1.87. Other interest was noted to come from CIC, Coop Sacco dividends, with an operating income of about 2.1 million shillings. So the other expenses were back charges, which total around 90,000, and the Sacco had a surplus of around 640,000. Members were informed the books were as per the provisions of the Cooperative Act and the objectives and the bylaws of the Sacco. The auditor announced dividend payouts at the rate of 10.85 and share capital returns at 14%. The report of the auditor was adopted as proposed by Stanley Mwangi and seconded by Clement Karaoke. Joseph Carissa requested to have the auditor invited to educate members on the profit and loss report. There were no other matters arising from the auditor's report. So we move to minute 8, appointment of the auditor. Brenda Odera from the DCO's office led the exercise for the election of the auditor. She informed members if they did not have any new applicants, the Sacco was at liberty to retain the current auditor from the Ministry of Cooperatives, and members elected to retain her. Proposed by Frederick Arillo and seconded by Rufus Hunja. Minute 9, the resolutions. Brenda Odera commended members for conducting the AGM within the stipulated time, thanked the leadership for being compliant, also thanked members for attending and participating in the Sacco meeting, commended the Sacco for progressive growth. She noted that despite the challenges in 2024, there was a slight improvement in the loan uptake, and also urged the team to continue its recruitment drive. Further, she noted the cooperative bill was before the Senate after being approved by the National Assembly and urged the SACCO to ensure proper governance structures. Also, she urged members to ensure they fill in the next of kin form and nominee forms, as well as ensure they update their next of kin details to avoid challenges in unfortunate cases of demise. She then led members adopting resolutions as follows. We had the honoraria, an honoraria of 100,000 shillings. This was proposed by Moses Gitari and seconded by Concepta Auma. Dividends, the share capital dividends were paid at the rate of 14%, and members resolved to plow it back into the SACCO, proposed by Lynette Namai and seconded by Nicholas Kigondu. Staff bonus was put at 10,000 and adopted by members. Proposer Stanley Mwangi, seconder Tyson Zenge. Dividends payout, interest on members' deposits was proposed to pay out at the rate of 10.85%. The amount was totaling 2.4 million. Members resolved to have it paid out to members as follows. Proposer Elijah Umbui, seconder Weldon Kirui. Appointment of auditor, it was agreed the SACCO retains the government auditor, Faith Olera, proposed by Frederick Carrero and seconded by Rufus Hunja. Introduction of a loan processing fee, it was resolved. Okay, sorry about that. Introduction of a loan processing fee. It was resolved a loan processing fee of 1.5% be introduced for loans above 50,000 shillings with a cap of 1,500. Proposer Nicholas Kigondu, seconder Clement Karaoke. Further, it was resolved loans of 50,000 shillings and below have a loan processing fee of 200 introduced, proposed by Henry Bichange and seconded by Shafan Owor. We then had our elections under minute 10. Members who are retiring by rotation but were eligible for re-election were as follows. Catherine Achenga, Nicholas Kigondu, Stanley Mwangi, and Nyagaka Otieri. It was confirmed Nicholas Kigondu was due to retire by rotation as follows. Proposer Mohammed Elmi and seconder Elijah Umbui. It was confirmed Catherine Achenga was due to retire by rotation as follows. Proposer seconder Lynette Namai. It was also confirmed Nyagaka Otieri was due to retire by rotation, proposed by Eustace Njeru and seconded by Isaiah Kakoma. It was also confirmed that Stanley Mwangi was due to retire by rotation as follows. Proposer Mohammed Elmi and seconded by Henry Bichange. Henry Bichange proposed the team retiring by rotation be elected for another term. This was supported unanimously by members as follows. Proposed by Henry Bichange and seconded by Monica Ogutu. The newly elected officials thanked members for their faith and trust, endorsing them to continue with their role to uplift the SACCO. Minute 10, AOB, Zipporah Alal gave a vote of thanks. She thanks the Ministry of Labor officials, SACCO leadership, and the members. The chair informed members the dividends will be paid within 7 days of the annual general meeting, and Eustace reminded members 1,000 shillings will be deducted from their dividends towards building their share capital, because the law requires it be at a minimum of 5,000 shillings. Henry Bichange thanked members and urged members to embark on a recruitment. There being no other business, the meeting ended at 1:15 with a word of prayer by Lynette Namai. I submit that these are the minutes of the previous meeting. Can I get a proposer and a seconder? Proposer Rufus Hunja, Bichange seconder. You can now clap for me as I sit down. Thank you.
Pigia Kate makofi. Umenyamaza mpaka akaomba makofi. Is it at this point that we are matters arising? Okay. Do we have matters arising from engineer? Utatupoteza masikio. Najua miaka yetu imeenda sana. Matters arising, are there matters arising, members, from that report, from those minutes? Moha. Okay.
On our end, just some clarifications on the appointment of auditors, kwa resolution is just the ministry auditors because of the dynamic nature of our work. So inaweza kuwa leo ni Faith Olero, kesho ni Brian. So what if you mseme specifically it's Faith Olero? So it's just ministry auditors. And then the AOB bit, Ministry of Cooperatives and MSMEs. May capture Ministry of Labor. Yes.
Maybe mumefanya kazi vizuri mpaka mkakaa kama watu wa labor. Yeah, it's cooperatives and SMEs. Who will answer that? Vice Chair. It's okay. It will be, it's the collection. Any other matter arising from members? Well done. Auma.
Kuna correction hapa. Naona jina linasoma John Mponda. It should be Jonah Mponda.
Asante sana. Bichanga.
Asante sana nini Mr. Mwensangu, my colleague. Mimi nilikuwa nataka matters arising kutoka kwa mambo ya education, vile Catherine alitusomea na marketing. Nataka mtuambie kuanzia last year mtuambie iko marketing tulifanya ama na mambo ya education. Hapo ndio nilikuwa nataka mtuweke clarification mzuri, education na marketing. Kwa sababu marketing, wakati ule tulikuwa hapa tulisomewa mambo ya marketing, hapo vijana mimi nawauliza marketing tukasema tujimarket sisi hapa KBC. Na hiyo mwaka yote imeanguka, sijaona sako yetu tukifanywa marketing please. Hapo mtuweke vizuri.
Asante Bichanga. Any other matter? I think they can be responded to after. Any other person?
Nashukuru. Kuna swala ambalo limekuwa likifuatiliwa hapa hivi la pesa zetu ambazo labda ziko na wale ambao waliondoka, ambapo the father demanded a follow-up letter or something. Demand letter. Sijui imefika wapi sababu it was during the other meeting. So sijui so far tayari hizo pesa tumezipata ama bado, sababu ni pesa zetu. Nashukuru.
Asante sana. Any other member with a matter that is burning? Sisi ni Sifuna. Chanileta hii microphone hapa mbele kwanza before
Education. Thank you, MC. Mr. Bichange, I want to thank you for continuous pressure on the management to do what you have elected them to do. I thank you very much. Education is at our forehead. We sat with the management and we tried to balance whether we would do education first or have the AGM. In our wisdom, and you can still correct us, we said that since AGM has come a little bit earlier, we follow up with education now. One of the catches being, if you have read the books, and I know you have them, and the chair said, ajui ni nini itapeanwa. With the kind of dividends we are giving, we are feeling like we have armed ourselves to reach out to the members. And we think that is going to be a plus for us, even for those who go to the field to do education and recruitment. That is what we thought. So education is still on our calendar immediately after the AGM. Thank you.
Okay, on that note again, Simona vile mmejibrand, this is also another way of marketing. And I believe some of you who are within the BH, you've seen the signages to the Mtangazaji Sacco. So for the education to the other members, to the regions, the plans are on the pipeline for that issue.
Mbona technical person kuna microphone yako shika. Yangu mmeshika sana mtamaliza batali. So on the question of the issue about Metabel, I think our chair credit will respond.
Good morning again. Well, I'm the credit chair, and I'm going to respond about the issue of Metabel. Well, we attempted to see if we can establish communication with this lady. So we did make an effort to approach the parent, that is the father. There's a group that was sent to Kisii, and I was one of them. We managed to get the father, we talked to him. On the material day, he indicated as if he was going to cooperate with us so that we can recover the money from the daughter. Unfortunately, when we left that place the following day, the old man changed the mind and disowned the daughter. Essentially, he disowned the daughter because he said that that is an adult person and therefore he cannot stand in for her. As a SACCO, we have tried to think on how to resolve this issue because it has kept on recurring in our books, in our minutes, and it doesn't help the SACCO at all. We have thought of approaching the embassy, the American embassy, to see if we can escalate the matter. It has its own challenges because even some members are not for it. But where we are today, we are faced with either accepting that this is a date that Mtangazaji may forgo and write it as a birth date, or use the legal means and see if we can cover the money. But the legal means also has a cost. Now we have to weigh between what we want to recover and what it will cost us to get that money. It is my humble opinion that this meeting today either resolves to write off this debt or advises the committee the radical way it can use and see if it can cover the money, whether at a cost or not. That is the information I have for you today. It is a challenge because I think she has been very clever and avoided interacting with anybody who could be near Mtangazaji. And that's why it has been very difficult to reach her. Thank you.
Asante sana credit chair. Bichanga. Maana there is something that is burning. Unaweza kuwa unajua mahali yako.
Bwana Napali na Mr. Nicholas. Unajua, asante sana kwa Mr. Napali kutueleza vile mulifanya na vile mulienda kwa mzee nyumbani. Mimi niko na maswali mawili. Maswali mawili ama matatu. Please, hatuwezi wacha pesa yetu ya mtangazaji isame namna hivyo. Metapel, najua watu wengine watakasirika wakati watasikia Bichanga atasema ya kwamba Metapel wakati alichukua pesa. Iko wale watu walimsimamia. Munisamee kwa kutacha hiyo. Sijasema ya kwamba nyinyi ndio mtaenda kuguzwa. Nataka na pali watueleze wakati walienda kwa Musazi. Musazi aliruka akasema huyu ni msichana wake, ni mtu mzima, yule ataweza kujisimamia. Na tukiwa hapa the same. Iko chance nyingine, Mr. Weldon Kirui. Unakumbuka Weldon Kirui iko proposal aliongea. Na hiyo kitu nimekirudia. Mr. Kirui, there is a proposal ile ulisema tutaweza nini pitia tuone kama tutapata hiyo msichana. Can you repeat again please?
Kuna proposal ya kutumia Interpol. Hao ni askari ambao wanaweza kumwandikia barua. Hao ni askari ambao wanaweza kumwandikia barua kwamba kuna pesa ulichukua KBC na lazima urudishe, ama urudishwe Kenya mpaka umalize ndio urudi Amerika. So tunaweza tumia hiyo njia. Asante.
Tafadhali. Iyo Mr. Napali, wacha nini vile ulileta proposal tujadiliane hiki kitu tumalize kwa hii meeting. Na yale maneno ile mimi naenda kuwaomba vile mwenzangu Napali, yani mwenzangu Kirui, nyinyi ni komiti yenu, mtaenda mkae chini mtuchunguzie muone kama hii Interpol wakati mtaenda mrequest kwao iko gharama ama namna gani. Mr. Iko gharama? Basi mupire iko juu yenu. Na Interpol wako mkitaka nini muelezewe, Interpol wako hapa Nairobi. Weldon Kirui utawaonyesha wako hapa. Tukienda hii nyumba ya samani ilikuwa inaitwa namna gani? City Vigilant wako huko. Na intelligence mkiwataka iko wengine wako hapa KBC wanazurura hapa, tutawasaidia tu. Iko wengine tunajuana, tutawasaidia tu. Committee wakati mtahitaji mkiwa na issue kama hiyo mkitupush tutawaitia wengine.
Moha.
I think a bit of clarification. You can't contact Interpol directly. So the procedure is you have to talk to the DCI first. So the DCI now will going to initiate the process with Interpol. Umeelewa?
Tunaendelea kusoma. Naona kama tumemaliza. Ama kuna mtu amefungiwa? Eda, you are too quiet today. You go to the next. Chair. Sasa naona tumechangamka kweli kweli. Very good. Kulikuwa na maji wapewe hata kama kuna baridi. All right. We now welcome the chair to present her report. Tumia microphone yako sasa. Hii nasikia inaisha, lazima ilikuwa inazibu.
Asante. Allow me to stand. Dear members, esteemed guests from the Ministry of Cooperatives and MSMEs, the auditor, members of the board, the supervisory committee, friends of Mtangazaji Sacco, and my fellow Sacco members, good morning and welcome to our 20th annual general meeting. Bado ni morning, I was confirming. I'm honored to stand before you today to reflect on our journey in the last 1 year, celebrate our achievements, examine the challenges and plan for an even stronger financial future. First, I extend my gratitude to our valued members for your unwavering trust and support. It is because of your continued commitment that we thrive as a Sacco. I'm happy to report that we have made notable strides in several key areas in the past year as outlined below. Strategic leadership. The board held a strategic meeting in June last year to deliberate on loan product development, revenue generation, branding, marketing, and strengthening our communication framework. Following these deliberations, we proposed the introduction of a new monthly microloan product ranging from Kenya shillings 1,000 to 9,999, available on request. We enhanced brand visibility through the installation of directional signage within KBC, which has enhanced awareness of our brand and have begun implementing a structured marketing and communication plan, including product awareness messages shared via WhatsApp. We have procured an office mobile number, which will simplify access to M-Pesa statements for audit purposes. To diversify income streams, we invested in CIC, generating interest income last year. Detailed figures will be presented in the Treasurer's report, together with the returns from our other investments. Loan performance. We have noted a decline in loan uptake in the last financial year. We encourage more members to take advantage of the various loan products, particularly the recently introduced microloan, to improve our financial base. We also urge members on payroll to join the direct debit system to ensure timely remittance of deposits and loan repayments, which will strengthen both personal financial discipline and the Sacco's loan portfolio. Membership growth and outreach. I'm happy to report that we continue to recruit new members, though not at the pace we desire. I encourage you to promote our Sacco, especially to non-KBC staff, to help expand our membership. We warmly welcome our new members and look forward to their active participation in the Sacco's growth. The new members, can you stand? New members, I saw them. Give them a clap. Karibuni sana. We are proud of you. For members approaching retirement, we offer a dedicated retirees product to support continued membership. Currently, 2 retirees remain active members, and we encourage all eligible members to stay connected and enjoy the benefits of membership even after retirement. Loan disbursements and timely payments. We have remained consistent in disbursing loans, dividends, and supplier payments on time. Currently, there are no pending loan demands or outstanding liabilities. This consistency has strengthened members' trust and confidence in our operations. Financial performance. I report that this year we have maintained our financial performance driven by the transition to direct debits. I report that this year's financial performance was modest. Our main sources of income remain interest on loans and dividends from our Coop Bank shares. We remain committed to improving loan uptake and diversifying income streams in this coming year. Challenges. Delayed remittances. While a majority of members have transitioned to direct debit, we are yet to realize 100% transition. We continue to advocate for our members to embrace direct debit remittances. Member engagement. Some members are not fully utilizing the Sacco's loan products like development loans, holiday savings, and the micro loan product. We also note those approaching retirement are not fully aware of the retirees product to encourage retention. Way forward. Building on lessons learned, we have an ambitious plan for the year ahead. Accounting system review. A team will assess whether our current system needs upgrading to improve operational efficiency. Payments. All payments are now processed via EFT, while cash or M-Pesa is limited to instant and microloans. The new office line will make tracking and audits easier. Financial literacy and member training. We will conduct education days in Nairobi and other stations to improve outreach, support member recruitment, and strengthen financial knowledge. Loan repayment flexibility. To encourage uptake, we plan to propose increased repayment durations on certain loans, making borrowing more accessible. New member recruitment. We will continue to intensify efforts to grow our membership base and strengthen the Sacco's financial foundation. Retiree education. Training will be organized for members nearing retirement to help them remain active and benefit from Sacco products. Member engagement and follow-up. A callback system will be established to engage members and encourage use of our products. Data-driven decisions. Surveys will be conducted to understand product uptake and guide strategic planning. Enhanced marketing. We will strengthen awareness of Sacco products through targeted campaigns to reach more members. In conclusion, I sincerely thank our hard-working staff and board for their support in achieving our motto in relentless pursuit of members' satisfaction. I appreciate the supervisory team for their diligent oversight of our finances and our members for their trust and continued partnership. With unity, commitment, and innovation, we will continue to strengthen Mtangazaji Sacco and drive our financial success to new heights. Our Sacco's strength comes from each one of us. Thank you for your trust and support as we work together to make Mtangazaji a Sacco of your choice. Regards, Winnie Cherono, your chair.
We need to adopt the chair's report. We need a proposer, Moha, seconder. Jina yake inakuanga ngumu Mongoyanga. Hata I know is that ni Kisumu. Kwa ndio namuonanga wakati nimeenda kutembea huko akiwa na akina Chola. Matters arising. Are there matters arising from the chair's report? Naona leo mumefurahi sana. Kama yule nimeoleza na hana t-shirt, hamkuwa na XXL. XXL. Ule asikose. Afadhali umpatie bili ya shikanisha. He's one of our best members. If there are no other matters arising, Brenda, you have something? Yep. There? Bichanga has something. Tutakuchagua. Unataka kusoma kiti gani next 2027?
Madam Chair, asante sana kwa kutupatia hiyo report. Ni vile tulikuwa tunataka utubrief kidogo. Kwa Sacco yote ni wangapi tumeona wageni ni wale wamekuja na ni wangapi wale wameretire. Please, kwa sababu sio kwa ubaya kwa update members wale watu wetu wameondoka.
We are 87 members and 2 dormant, and the new members, we have 9 of them.
Makofi.
Na bado mnakaribishwa muwalete wengi. We still have room. Sawa?
Okay. Any other relevant matter? Nataka kuwakumbusha, I know our secretary placed the link on YouTube. That's why I said we are both on the ground, under the sea, and in the air. We are online. And I want to remind our members who are online to register on the chat so that you can be captured. I know those who are here have already registered. Ama kuna mwenye hajaandika? Hautaki watu wa kutufuata kule. Especially from where I sit, I'm a credit committee member. Hatutaki siasa ya kunifuata. Tunataka tumaliziane hapa. Kama hujaandika hapa, usifuate mtu. Sawa? And on that note, I want to pass this mic to my colleague, Ken Alilo, to continue with the rest of the program.
Thank you, Nicholas, for indeed giving us the way forward. And for me, I'm not well spoken like you, but I will try as much as I can. I'll go straight into the business. We now go to the supervisory report, and I will invite, just a moment, I'll invite the chairperson, Zipporah. You have 15 minutes.
15 minutes is too much. Habari zenu members? Mtaniwia radhi, nina mafua kidogo, lakini kazi tutaichapa tu. So I will start. For those who have, how many have this one? You do? Yes, so I'll go straight to our role so that you do understand what Supervisory Committee does. So the Supervisory Committee plays an independent role of any savings and credit cooperative society Sacco, any Sacco, not just Mtangazaji. The committee is comprised of 3 members who are elected annually during the annual general meetings on a rotational basis. The committee's responsibility is to protect the interest of Sacco members by ensuring the Sacco is prudently managed with transparency and compliance with the law and Sacco's bylaws. The committee does not run the Sacco's daily affairs, but monitors and reviews the management of the board to ensure sound policies are followed, investigates complaints from members, and misuse of funds. The committee's findings and observations are then prepared as independent reports highlighting any irregularities and weaknesses of the Sacco. Tuko pamoja hadi hapo? Sisi ndio the National Assembly of this Sacco. So that's why mweke maanani, independent. We are independent. All right? So in the introduction, honorable members, on behalf of the Supervisory Committee, I am pleased to present the annual Supervisory Committee report for the financial year ended 31st December 2025. This report consolidates the committee's oversight activities, findings, observations, and recommendations arising from the 4 quarterly reviews conducted during the year. In line with our mandate under the Cooperative Societies Act, the Society's bylaws, and principles of good governance, the Supervisory Committee exercised independent oversight over financial management, internal controls, governance compliance, and operational efficiency of Mtangazaji Sacco. So throughout the year, the committee held quarterly meetings, reviewed financial documents, assessed loan performance, monitored compliance, and engaged management and the board on areas requiring improvement. One of them ni kama hizo mumeongea juu ya Metabel. Now just do not demand the 250,000 that she owes us. There is that interest, and now I know imeza a lot of compound interest that will boost our Sacco accounts. So in the first quarter, that was between January and March 2025, our operational overview, the Sacco operated steadily during the first quarter with consistent member contributions, loan disbursements, and repayments. Member confidence remained stable, so clap for yourselves, because you did not let the Sacco down. So under financial performance, the society experienced strong inflows, particularly in March, which was one of the highest income months. A significant dividend payout of 2.6 million was made in March, impacting liquidity but fulfilling member obligations. Ama ni wangapi wametisha loan wakanyimwa? Muniambie sahi. As I said, we are the National Assembly, the watchdog. Muniambie tu sahi kama uli apply na ukanyimwa. Sawa. Then we shall, of course, call them in the Moses Kajwang Committee. Now, closing balances during the quarter were as follows. In the month of January, The closing balance was 1,328,546.15 cents. In February, 1,389,043 shillings 65 cents. And in March, 1,711,937.60 cents. Our key observations were financial records were largely manual. Documentation lacked structured double entry accounting. Loan portfolio remained active with regular payments. Liquidity remained within manageable levels. Recommendations: we should strengthen record keeping systems, prepare formal trial balances, and enhance reconciliation procedures. In the second quarter report between April and June, operational overview, the Sacco continued normal operations, though liquidity pressures were observed in April and May due to loan disbursements. In financial performance, in April, the month closing balance in April, 503,766.10 shillings. May, 672,665.60 cents. June, 2,658,361.35 cents. So in June, June recorded a strong recovery following receipt of dividends from cooperative investments. In key observations, sharp liquidity dips in April, increased loan disbursements, dependence on irregular bulk inflows, no formal reconciliation between bank and cash book. Recommendations: in quarter two, institute monthly bank reconciliations, manage liquidity through structured loan planning, reduce reliance on manual accounting systems. In the third quarter report, that is between July and September 2025, operational overview. Operations continued normally, but governance concerns emerged. Governance concerns: the Central Management Committee, CMC, did not meet during that quarter, delaying presentation of Supervisory Committee findings. Hapo mtawafanya vipi? Kwa sababu walichelewa, they did not adhere to the meeting in that quarter, so that we read them our findings before we submit to Madam Brenda. All right, and that's a requirement. Okay, moving on. Lakini msiwachape sana, they are doing a good job. So in the financial performance in the month closing, in the following months, that quarter, the closing balance in July was 731,579.35 cents. August, 307,116 shillings 85 cents. In September, 111,812.35 cents. In September reflected the lowest, September reflected the lowest balance of the year, indicating high overflows and liquidity strain. Our key observations as a committee: declining liquidity, weak documentation standards, lack of visible reconciliation, governance schedule not adhered to. So our recommendation: enforce governance, meeting schedules, improve oversight mechanisms, and strengthen liquidity forecasting. In the fourth quarter that we held between October and December 2025, our operational overview, the committee met on the 17th, that is our committee, Supervisory, National Assembly. We met on the 17th November last year. Operations remained steady with consistent transactions and contributions. Membership then stood at 80 members. I think by now the membership has increased because I've seen new faces. In the loan portfolio, despite a lending capacity of 6 million shillings, only 4 members applied for loans totaling 700,000 shillings during that quarter. So you guys, I don't know what happened. You are not borrowing enough. Munasikia Sacco ilikuwa na 6 million ya kupeana in case you needed a loan. Hamkuja. Only 4 people came forward. So our observation, low loan uptake may be due to reduced demand, non-payslip compliance, or insufficient product awareness. So maybe that could be, and when you talk about payslip, you are yet to see the worst, because we are going below 1/3 on my observation. Now on defaulters, like we said, the cases of Metabel and James Miano remained unresolved, but mumesikia vile chairperson or credit committee amesema kwamba recovery team was appointed and the committee at that time awaited progress updates. Ndio hiyo mumeuliza na mumekuwa updated. Do I need to add more on that? I don't think so. On creditors and debtors, would you allow me to finish the report kindly? Then you can ask your questions after the adoption of it. So about creditors and debtors, no outstanding creditors. By the time we had our meetings, KBC paid 3.4 million deductions up to September last year. You see, like KBC really was good to us last year. We did not have to cry all the time. And we thank the chairperson here. She had to really follow up so that KBC is up to date in payments. So outstanding October, by the way, mklapieni. Give her a hearty clap. She did a good job. Outstanding October remittance, that was 350,000. Indirect debit and payments, 41 members are on direct debit, 18 on KBC payroll system, 4 via M-Pesa, others deposit manually. The committee encourages transition to direct debit for income predictability, and you've heard the chairperson also talk about it. So in bank statement review, July to October, the bank balance as of 30th October stood at 4,109,432 shillings, 65 cents. Key concerns were no major withdrawals were reflected in the bank statement, yet expenditures were recorded in the cash book. This suggests transactions occurring outside the bank system, a serious governance and audit concern. In the trial balance review, the document presented as a trial balance was not a true double entry trial balance, but a cash book summary. This limits proper financial oversight. Digital platforms, or other platforms, M-Pesa float was 4,700 to 5,600 shillings monthly. Airtel, approximately 300 shillings monthly. Corporate, Corp kwa Jirani, approximately 2,000 monthly. This does not mean the float, just means the profit that we got from these digital platforms. So insurance, we were was fully paid up, and up to now, our Sacco is well insured. When it comes to training, our recommendation was to increase 226 training budget from 100,000 to 200,000 shillings. And this also covers the education that Mr. Henry was talking about. On the website and branding, website restructuring is pending, but branding and signage were underway. However, the signage has already been done. You've seen the signage is around here, directing you to where Mtangazaji offices are. Consolidated annual observation. Now this is cumulatively what we observed throughout the year in the 4 quarters. After reviewing all 4 quarters, the supervisory committee makes the following consolidated observations. The Sacco remained operationally stable throughout 2025. Liquidity fluctuated significantly across months. However, the levels fluctuated significantly during the year. Certain months, particularly April, August, and September, recorded sharp declines in cash balances due to heavy loan disbursements and operational expenditures. Conversely, months such as June and October reflected strong inflows driven by dividends and corporate remittances. This pattern indicates reliance on irregular bulk inflows rather than predictable structured cash flow planning. Number 3, the committee further observed that the society continues to rely heavily on manual financial documentation. The records presented lacked structured double entry accounting, and the document labeled The document labeled as a trial balance did not meet the standards of a formal accounting trial balance. By the way, this is just a summary of what I have told you earlier. Maybe the language varies, but it's the same thing in summary. Some transactions appear to occur outside the bank system. This weakens financial oversight and increases exposure to error. Now, this does not mean that the SACCO had some fraudulent deals. Just because they were relying on cash book and not balancing with the statement, it does not mean that any money was lost, but it could be misconstrued as fraud. All right? Absence of proper double entry accounting system. Additionally, monthly bank reconciliations were not consistently presented, and that's what I've just talked about. The absence of reconciliation between the cash book and bank statements creates a gap in accountability and makes independent verification difficult. So no consistent monthly bank reconciliation presented a serious concern, is an indication that certain transactions may have occurred outside the primary bank account, as reflected by the discrepancies between recorded expenditures and bank statement activity. This presents governance and audit risks that require urgent harmonization. So governance meeting schedules were not consistently adhered to. You can read the rest of it, because I am told I have 15 minutes. I don't know how many minutes I have left. So loan uptake in Q4 was significantly below capacity. The SACCO's lending ability was 6 million, and we have talked about it. On a positive note, the SACCO's digital platforms, including M-Pesa and Coop kwa Jirani, continued to generate modest but stable supplementary income. Insurance premiums were also confirmed to be up to date, which protects the society against risk exposure. So overall, while operational continuity was maintained, structural financial management and governance improvements are necessary to ensure long-term sustainability and regulatory compliance. So consolidated annual recommendations to strengthen governance, accountability, and sustainability. The Supervisory Committee recommends financial management in order to strengthen financial integrity, governance standards, and institutional growth. The Supervisory Committee recommends the following measures. Firstly, the society should urgently adopt a standardized accounting system, such as QuickBooks or a SACCO-specific ERP platforms. The accountants know what I'm talking about. If you have any question, you'll ask about QuickBooks and ERP platforms. This will ensure proper double entry bookkeeping, automatic ledger generation, and reliable financial reporting. Secondly, authentic accounting documents, including a formal trial balance, general ledger, and cash flow statements, should be prepared and presented at every meeting. These documents form the foundation of credible financial oversight. So monthly bank reconciliations must be conducted without exception. Reconciling the cash book with bank statements ensures that all transactions are properly recorded and verified. The committee further recommends that the SACCO minimize or eliminate cash transactions conducted outside the bank system. All disbursements and payments should be processed through the official bank account to improve transparency and audit trails. To strengthen technical capacity, the board should consider engaging a qualified accountant or external financial consultant to standardize reporting and train internal staff. Governance, all statutory and scheduled meetings must be held consistently. So that one we've already talked about. I was just doing the summary. And of course, there are those things that I've repeated. With regard, in terms of loan management, the SACCO should increase awareness of its loan products and possibly review credit policies to stimulate uptake while maintaining prudent leading standards. Follow-up on defaulting members should be documented formally, a recovery process reported regularly. This one we've already talked about, and it's good they captured it earlier. The committee also recommends expanding direct debit enrollment among members. This will improve predictability of income and reduce delays associated with manual deposits. You've been urged to get into direct debit so that we have enough in our accounts. So digital and operational improvements. Finally, the proposed increase in the training budget for 2026 is supported as capacity building for officials and members strengthens governance, compliance, and operational efficiency. So in conclusion, members, Mtangazaji Sacco has demonstrated resilience and continued member commitment throughout 2025. However, financial governance structures require urgent strengthening to safeguard members' funds and ensure regulatory compliance. The Supervisory Committee remains committed to exercising independent oversight and working collaboratively with the board and management to enhance transparency, accountability, and institutional growth. So we thank the members for their continued trust and support in this Supervisory Committee. Thank you.
Yeah, once again, let's give a clap. That is indeed parliamentary language. Inaitwa Public Accounts Committee. Thank you for a job wonderfully done. Now, probably we'll go for, yes, we have a proposer. Yes. Tyson? Okay. And the seconder? Auma? Auma. Yes. Conceptor. Thank you. I think we will go to matters arising from the report. I know you have a lot of questions. And anybody? Let's start. Anyone who has a question that they think needs to be clarified or something that it needs to really, yes?
Yes. I just want a short clarification concerning this guy called Miano. He owes us around 36,000. What action has the officials taken to recover this money?
Well,
but they remind me of your name? Huh? Omuga.
Yeah, there was some effort done towards recovery of that money from James. We tasked the vice chair to contact him, which he did. Then, after promising that he will pay, he decided to discontinue the communication. So he went underground again. So it's an issue that we may, with your approval, to use the police to recover the money from him because he has decided to go underground again. Ni kama mtu unamtafuta, ukimpata, next time akijua unamtafuta, anapotea. Hiyo ndio shida tuko nayo na yeye.
Ninauliza hivi. Rules inasema nini? Wakati unachukua loan uko na guarantors. Kwa nini tunatafuta tunaenda polisi na tuko na guarantors? Kwa nini hatuwezi kuingia kwa guarantors? Sasa guarantors watafute vile watapata hiyo pesa yao.
Umeuliza swali mzuri sana. Hii issue ya Miano ilitoka wakati yeye alikuwa kwa ofisi na si ya leo. Ni issue ilifanyika kabla hii committee ambayo mimi huita ni rescue team take over. Huyu bwana alichukua loan by virtue of him being at the secretariat, na there was no guarantor kwa hiyo loan yake. So in essence, if we were to be more brutal, the former officials are supposed to account for the anomaly done by this person. So yeye loan yake hakuna mahali imeindicate guarantors, na alichukua akiwa kwa ofisi because he was an employee of the Sacco.
Wajua sasa hii kitu itaanza sasa kututia wasiwasi. Kwa sababu gani? Maana inachukuliwa halafu ule ufatilizi unaenda mwisho unaregeshwa tena kwa uwanja wetu. Sisi tukiwa na matarajio ya kuwa hizo pesa zitakuwa recovered. Sasa hii inaonekana hii pesa haitapatikana. Kwa sababu sio kwamba inajirudia. Maana ni zaidi ya kama miaka 5 tunarudia hii swala la hizi pesa. Nyingine ni kidogo, nyingine ni nyingi. So maybe mtuambie kama resolution iliyokuwekwa ama ambayo iko ni ya kwamba tuiandika kwa bad debt, lakini hata tukiandika kwa bad debt, sasa pengine kunaweza kutukia mwingine naye akatumia hiyo formula. Vitakuwaje sasa hii?
Kweli nakubaliana na wewe, na ukweli ni kwamba tumejaribu kufakia uchafu ambao tuliinherit kwa hii mtangazaji. Na those two cases, hata mkisiangalia vizuri, they are among the cases ya zile uchafu tulipata kwa Sacco. Na ni makosa, na nakubaliana na members concerned, ni makosa kuchukua loan bila guarantor, whether you are an official or an employee of the Sacco. Na kweli lazima hizi pesa zirudishwe. Hata mimi sikubaliane na wazo la kusema tuwache, kwa sababu hajakufa, yuko hai. Na sana nafikiri, hata mimi naamini yuko within Nairobi. Na kwa hivyo that's why mimi kama ofisi ya credit nina propose kutumia more radical ways to recover this money. Na mimi na waomba mkubaliane na sisi tutumie askari kushika hawa watu ama kushika mwenye atapatikana mpaka atupatie pesa za Sacco. Na ninawaomba sana because it also has what we call optics. Sijui reaction yangu kwa jambo kama hili sio reaction ya mwingine. Kwa sababu unless tukubaliane ya kwamba mtavumilia kama society image ya kwamba tumeshika former debtors or former creditors wa society na tumewaweka ndani. Tukikubaliana hivyo tutaenda hiyo njia. Asante.
Ken, iko swali kwa Mr. Napali. Mr. Napali. Ndugu yangu, tutakubaliana na wewe. Ile kitu ulikuwa umeongea ndipo nilikuwa nataka nikuje sasa. Nikuomba utumie hiyo. Aya. Mambo ya Metapel yamekuwa ngumu kwetu. Hiyo ndio swali nilikuwa nataka nikuulize. Miano kwake amujui Miano hayuko Nairobi hama namna gani. Aya, kitu ingine na waomba kama committee members, mimi nilikuwa na waomba mambo ya Metapel, mambo ya Miano tuimalize kwa AGM. Mumekubaliana hivyo? Mambo ya Metapel na Miano yamekuwa too much kwa committee. Mimi bichanga kama mungekuwa nimepatiwa responsibility ya kama ningejua Miano yuko, mimi ningemobilize mimi tuende mpaka kwa Miano tusimame huko tumwambie tupe pesa ya Sacco. Lakini kulingana sheria iniruhusu, sheria ni nyinyi na ruhusu committee. Viatu ya Miano ama jina ya Miano na waomba. Bwana Napali, tumekupatia responsibility, tafuta Miano, mtuambie AGM mwingine. Mumerecover pesa yetu kutoka kwa Miano. Miano hajapotea. Aya, swali moja nyingine na wauliza. Miano tangu atoke hapa, amelimwa pesa yake ya pension? Nataka munijibu. Miano wa wale watu wa technical walikuwa wanajua hapa, walijua Miano wakati aliretire. Miano alilipwa. Kama Miano hajalipwa, let us tuende kwa employee wetu tuandike barua.
Clarification kidogo.
An employee of KMBC. He was an employee of the Sacco. Alikuwa accountant hapa. So what happened when the turnover, when Miano resigned, and majority of us know who was in the office then. Wakati hii timu ilikuja ilipegua ikakuta Miano kumbe amejipea loan na ametoka, ameresign. Because ukiresign hata tukikuforce si umeenda. So he was not wanting anything. But the tricks the credit committee is saying is what he plays. Ukimpata saa hii tukikutuma, utampata, atakujibu na atakuongelesha vizuri sana. Akwambie, hata kuambia pahali yako, lakini atakwambia pesa yenu anakuja kulipa sasa. Alikuwa anashinda, amepata job, mwisho wa mwezi anaanza kulipa. Wewe unangojea. Akijua wewe ndio unafuata, anamblock hiyo simu. We don't know where he is, but like the credit is committing, it is a matter of mobilizing to know where he is. But you cannot go direct when he knows you are a member of the credit committee. You can only use a band party, and you Miano yuko wapi, and then you ambush him. That is the tricky bit. You can ambush with the police. You know the Kenyan police. Walipe kitu kidogo muende mushike Miano. You threaten him alipe kama akona pesa. Ama you identify his new employer. You engage his new employer, akulipe direct. The way we did with the previous debtors who had left. And majority of you know what we used to do. So that is the idea we have been trending. Tuone kama tutajua ako wapi na ameajiriwa na nani. Then we can follow. It is not like it's something you go and get the money and come back with it. But we are trading ideas with all of
you. Members, kama naweza kuchangia tu kidogo, na nashukuru Bichange kwa sababu like we said earlier, anatuuliza maswali magumu. Mambo na James Miano, na wakati ambapo mtamfikia asilipe 236,000. Kuna interest, compound interest and all that. Na James Miano is very sly. Kwa sababu kuna siku nimempigia simu kimakosa. Kwa sababu nilimemsave kama James Mtangazaji. Nikamuuliza kwani naongea na nani? Akaniambia yeye ni James Miano. Nikamwambia na umepotea wapi? Sako inakutafuta. Nani ananitafuta na Mr. Njero anajua kule niko? That's what he told me. Unaona, nikamwambia pesa zetu unalipa siku gani? Nimeshaongea na Mr. Eustace, anajua. Na hata niliwaambia kwa committee wakati tulikuwa na board meeting. Now when it comes to Metabel, hatuwezi kushika guarantors wake. makaratasi yako, mnasikile mambo, jambo. That's how they are. You can't really pin who, because we really tried. This lady here looked for the records. Huyo Yvonne, na mumpigie makofi, na si hiyo tu. Amezitafuta, akatafuta, na kazi unearth where they were hidden. And that's how we came to know during one of our meetings as supervisory, kwamba we can't pin one guarantor down, because you na guarantors wengi na ujua alichukua lini, dates ziko sijui vipi, you wouldn't know. Na si hiyo tu, just before we met, this quarter hatuja meet as supervisory, because you see the AGM imekuja mapema. Na kile ningeweza kuambia ni kwamba si tu Metabel, there is a guy alichukua loan yetu hapa na anaitwa John Kago. Hatujui his guarantors wa, hatujui alichukua pesa ngapi. Hiyo tume-unearth juzi. So hatujakutana kama committee ndio tujadiliane mambo mengi. So mambo yalikuwa mengi wakati wa James Miano na the other guy alikuwa anaitwa nani, Ben. Walifunika mambo mengi sana kuhusu pesa. Sawa sawa. So we are going to unearth, and then the next time we will tell you what is going on. But nilikuwa tunataka kuchangia hadi hapo. But John Kago owes us money and he does not want to pay. But the thing is, we do not know how much he took, who guaranteed him. Sawa sawa.
It seems you're going to have okay.
Why can't you approach huyu mzee, muambie mtafute hoteli moja hapa town, ita nini timu yetu hii, mukae. Wewe mdanganye huko peke yako. Wakati umedanganya huko peke yako, umealert committee. Wakati umealert committee, mchama huyu mkuche, umwambie mdanganye tu iko kitu mnakuja kushare na yeye nini. Wakati umealert committee, wakati mko na pamoja, call committee nini, mkae chini. Sasa mkikaa chini, hand over hiyo maneno kwa polisi. Please. Na vile madamu wetu amesema hiyo pesa isiende namna hivyo, please. Ya Metabel hii imezama, lakini huyu hako Nairobi, fanya hivyo please, kama mko na namba yake.
Thank you. I think we're getting somewhere. This issue seems to be burning. So I'll give you maybe another 10 minutes. We wrap up and then we proceed.
Niko na swala la loan hapa hivi. Niko na mwenzangu Kisumu anaitwa Kirui. Josephat Kirui wakati moja aliandika barua ya kujiuzulu kwa sababu ya aliomba loan ikachukua muda. Hata juzi aliitwa, alirudi courtesy of the chair lady baada ya kumuongelesha labda. So juzi last AGM he attended, akaona mambo itakuwa sawa. Juzi kabla tukuja hapa hivi ametuambia aliomba loan, emergency loan ya 40,000. It took 1 month kabla hajapewa. Paka anajiuliza kwani mnaona jina Kirui ndio so sijui namna gani, angalieni hali kama hiyo. Number 2, ata respond tu. Number 2, story ya education, sijui mko na program gani. What's the cost ya kufanya virtually compared to kwenda on the ground, so that tuone hata kama tutafanya virtually mkitutumia data bundles na ka lunch kidogo, hebu pigeni hesabu hiyo. Asante.
Okay.
I think we were responding to the report of the supervisory.
Yes.
Now we have started getting into other businesses. This allow a smooth flow of our program, because even if Brenda finishes with us, in order to serve other parties who are meeting like us, we can still be left around and consult, because those, I understand, are consultations. They don't require a lot of solutions. And that's what she's also begging, that we also allow the free flow in the interest of time. Do we all agree? I thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Chair, for the guidance. I think we'll move on swiftly. I think that is now taken care of. We'll now go to the presentation of the audited accounts. And we all know that in any SACCO, this is the cornerstone of a cooperative society, so it's very, very key. And at this point, let me invite, yes? Yeah? Yeah. Let me invite Mr. Brian. And before I do that, those who are online, please continue registering. You can either make a comment under the link, you put your name, or on the WhatsApp that you are attending, so that it's for the record purposes. Thank you. Yeah, the Treasurer's report, I'm sorry, Treasurer's report. Or we continue?
Yeah,
okay.
It can come later. So good afternoon, members. Good afternoon, the members who are sitting behind there. I don't know if they are seeing me, because you now want to get to the critical place. Watu wanataka kujua kama tunaenda mahali ama tuendi mahali, and this is very important. So my name is Brian Obiero, Cooperative Auditor from the Ministry of Cooperatives and SMEs. I'm going to take us through the audited accounts for the financial year ended 2025, 31st of December. Now, this is the financial audited reports. We are going to begin, if you have these copies, I don't know if members have these copies. We are going to go to page 6, so that you can be able to move together and be able to understand what we're going through. So I'm going to take us through, first of all, revenue versus expenses that we had for the financial year ended 31st December 2025. So interest expense interest on loans to members stood at 1,988,753. Other interest income stood at 12,918 shillings and 69 cents. Interest on CIC stood at 131,720 and 47 cents. Total interest income stood at 2,133,392 shillings and 16 cents. We had we less the expense, interest expense. Now, this is expense now on your deposits that you've been sending into the SACCO. And I know this is one of the things also you are looking for now. And the net income interest, the net interest income stood at, expense stood at 2,098,325. And then now net interest income, incomes were now at 35,067 shillings and 16 cents. Other operating incomes we had stood at 3,538,607 shillings and 50 cents, giving us a net revenue of 3,573,674 shillings and 66 cents. Expenses, administrative expenses, stood at 1,894,377 shillings and 70 cents. Operating expenses stood at 81,914 shillings and 25 cents, giving us a total expense of 1,976,291 shillings and 95 cents. Net operating surplus before tax stood at 1,597,382 shillings and 71 cents. Provision for tax, we had a figure standing at 193,294 shillings and 36 cents. Now, net operating surplus after tax, we add 1,404,088 shillings and 35 cents. 20% transfer to reserve. That is required by the law, Cooperative Act and regulations. We had 280,817 shillings and 67 cents. So surplus available for distribution was 1,123,270 shillings and 68 cents. And then we are now able to provide for the following. Provision for dividends increased from last year from 26,000 to 73,500. Provision for honoraria increased from 100,000 to 120,000 this financial year of 2025. Provision for staff bonus also increased from 10,000 to 15,000 in the year 2025, leaving us with retained earnings of 914,770 shillings and 68 cents. I need us to move to page 11 so that we understand what we are talking now. I want just to demystify or rather break down these figures that I've read to you so that we are able now to understand. Now, other operating incomes, where did they come from? Income from tokens gave us 3,842. Entrance fee gave us an income of 4,500. Loan processing fee gave us an income of 36,000 there. Refinancing fee gave us an income of 104,937 shillings and 50 cents. Cooperative dividends gave us 3,389 shillings, 389,328 shillings, giving us a total of income of 3,538,607 shillings and 50 cents, an increase from the previous year. Administrative expenses, we had printing and stationaries 3,200, depreciation 12,464 and 70 cents. We had postage and telephone at 27,350, sitting allowance 294,500, AGM expenses 277,000, software maintenance 69,600. We had audit fee 30,000, repairs and maintenance. We didn't have a figure for the year that passed. We had salaries and wages 730,000, CIC premium 202,081. We had provision for loan loss 200,000 and education to members at 48,000, giving us a total administrative expenses of 1,894,377 and 70 cents. Now, I want us to come back to the balance sheet and now look at what are the assets that we have as now as of 31st December 2025. Assets. Cash and cash equivalent stood at 826,535 and 40 cents, an increase from the previous year. Trade and other receivables stood at 2,468,567 shillings and 45 cents. Loan to members 44,803,385 shillings and 12 cents. We add other financial provision there at 6,444,115 shillings and 53 cents. Property and equipment stood at 29,508 shillings and 96 cents, giving us a total asset base of 54,572,112 shillings and 46 cents, an increase from previous year. And then liabilities, members' deposits, 40,972,304 shillings. Trade and other receivables, that is, and payables, 2,275,321 shillings and 36 cents. Sundry and creditors, we didn't have that. We had interest on members' deposits stood at 2,236,169. Tax payable, 193,000. 294 shillings and 36 cents. Insurance fund, this is 1,843,599 shillings and 61 cents. So giving us a total liabilities of 47,520,688 shillings and 33 cents. The shareholders funds, share capital, 650,892 shillings. Reserves, 6,400,532 shillings and 13 cents. And then total shareholders funds was 7,051,424 shillings and 13 cents, giving us a total liabilities and shareholders funds balancing at 54,572,112 shillings and 46 cents. Members, before I proceed to the notes to explain this one, I wanted probably to shed some light to management committee members here, and even you as the members of the society. Now, I saw in one of these letters I was given here, I don't know, this circle was formed in some 27 years ago. Now, for example, today, if we say that we want to liquidate, or rather no, to dissolve, let me say it like that, we want to dissolve as a society. You see, deposits, you guys are doing well in deposits. You are at 40 million, right? 40,972,304. But at your share capital, we have only 650,982. There's a bit problem there that I think we just need to think critical. For example, today if we say this society is dissolving, members are being given back their monies. Do you know the circle's financial base will only be worth 650,000 peke yake? Tuseme tu leo tunafunga sasa sisi tunataka kurudisha pesa kwa members. So what I'm trying to say is for us to increase our share capital here. And this one, I think now I want you to think about it. I'm not saying that we do it now. Think about it with your leadership here so that at least we can't be 27 years in operation and we are only worth 650,000. It's absurd, right? So let's think about that. Let's get back to notes page 12 so that I explain this financial, page 11. So other operating expenses that we had for the period that year, 2025, bank charges stood at 76,979 shillings and 25 cents. M-Pesa running cost 4,623 shillings. Total token expense 312, giving us other operating expense totaling at 81,914 shillings and 25 cents. Trade and other payables. What were these things that we are now going to spend on? Now, this committee honoraria, 120,000, audit fee 30,000, dividends payable 73. Hope mnanisikia. Dividends payable 73,500. Staff bonus 15,000. Provision for loan loss 1,843,527 shillings. And then tax 193,294 shillings and 36 cents, giving us a total trade and other payables standing at 2,275,321 shillings and 36 cents. Now, cash and cash equivalents there, we had Coop Bank current account reconciled standing at 701,334 shillings and 40 cents. Coop kwa jirani 125,201, giving us a cash and cash equivalent of 826,535 shillings and 40 cents. Interest expense, we had interest on members' deposits 2 million, and holiday savings interest, saving interest standing at 98,325 shillings, giving us a total interest expense of 2,098,325 shillings. Trade and other receivables. Coop Bank Education Savings Scheme stood at 1,121,347 shillings and 25 cents. Data employee, as at December 31st, stood at 1,347,220 shillings and 20 cents, giving us a trade and other receivable totaling at 2,468,567 shillings and 45 cents. Loan to members. At the start of the year, we had the loan that was brought forward from the previous year was 44,304,028 shillings and 66 cents. Granted, the loan that people were granted in the financial year 2025 was 8,865,000, and then repayments. Members who repaid during that year gave 8,365,643 shillings and 54 cents. And then at the end of the year, members' personal accounts remained at 44,803,385 shillings. So members' deposits brought forward, we had the balance brought forward 40,140,104 shillings. The contributions during the year, because I've had you also had new members joining, so so we had 2,484,200 shillings, and then refunds. Members who took back their money went at 1,652,000 shillings. Members' personal account remaining at 30,675,770 shillings, giving a difference of 10,296,534. Other financial assets are Coop Bank shares at 1,290,000. Cusco shares, that is 1,076 shillings. And then M-Pesa float, we have 120,000. And CIC unit trust, we have 5,033,039 shillings and 53 cents, giving us the financial assets standing at 6,444,115 shillings and 53 cents. Now I want us to come back to page 3. Page 3 now, where it's a very important note that all of us are supposed to note. Now I know all of us are expecting today to be given here through my colleague here, who's going to take us through the solutions on how dividends are going to be divided to members, and even the interest expense that accrued in terms of your deposits and the holiday savings. So the interest on member deposits is going to be given at 11%. I think we're all there. Yes. Dividends rates on members' shares capital is going to be given at 14%. Sawa? Yes. And just now to conclude my independent, I had the chairperson for the National Assembly saying independent. Now let me give also our independent report now, so that isikweti mimi sikusema and I was here and it's being recorded. So I'm going to paraphrase page 5. That is now where we conclude this report. That I'm going just to paraphrase or summarize that in our opinion there, report of the independent auditors. I'm at the first paragraph, second take. In our opinion, the financial statement presents fairly in all material respects the financial position of the society as at 31st December 2025 and of its financial performance and its cash flows for the year then ended in accordance with international financing reporting standards and the requirements of the Kenya Cooperative Societies Act. My report is concluded there. But I want just to make some remarks even as I finish this, is that at least you've done better from the previous year of 2024, looking at the accounts. And secondly, I think I've been listening again to the supervisory committee report hapo na recommendations. the issue of using manual documentation, I think we need to migrate from that and then go to system, because you know many societies now are becoming technologically savvy. So let us also adopt that, so that at least we ensure our figures do not be mismatching during audit workings. Secondly, the issue of loans. I've heard it here, because we are facing this thing, the same issue in our ministry there, with different circles. And that's also, I just wanted to recommend to the credit team, the management, the chairperson and the team, that you need to be very stringent in terms of people who are taking loans, so that we avoid such kinds of cases that are coming up. You see, somebody, for example, in a circle, I don't want to mention, comes with a loan form, says, Njeru, I consider you as a very potential guarantor. So, in the form, this person records that I want to take a loan of probably, let's say, 20,000, right? Then Njeru signs, and then he also gives Brenda, my colleague here, signs. And then this person later goes and add a zero there. So it becomes 200,000. Wewe ulikuwa umesema unapeana, ulikuwa una guarantee mtu pesa ngapi? 20,000. Lakini mtu ameenda akachukua loan ya pesa ngapi? Sasa unabaki pale na mzigo, unashanga, how did it come? So that thing must be really corresponding. What is in the loan form should be corresponding to what is in the system and what is being approved by the credit committee. Because it's a challenge that we are facing in the main circles that we are auditing currently. I'm just giving that one as a notice. And then secondly, I think I've spoken about that, the issue of migrating to system. Let's please, in the fullness of time, be able to use technology to ensure that we advance our operations. Sawa. Otherwise, thank you so much. God bless you. I think this has been great for the financial year 2025. Asanteni sana.
Yeah, let's give him a clap. That was a very critical component because now we know where our financial health is, so that we can make informed decisions. And so now I think we'll adopt the report and then proceed. So I'll need a seconder. I need a proposer and a seconder. Well done, Kirui. Seconder? Remind me your name again. Sawa. Thank you. For the interest of time, I think we'll proceed to the next. I was being told by our board member here that there's some tea, so I really need to ask you a question. Do we bring you some tea so that you continue because I know your sugar levels are also not here, not there. So we will bring you tea as we proceed. Or what do you think? Tumalize? Thank you. Okay, then we'll proceed to the matters arising so that we proceed based on what our auditors have already given us. So I'll open the floor. But let's be brief, we don't have time.
Nafikiri mauditors wetu wanafanya kazi nzuri, lakini mimi nitarudi pale pale kwa kusema ile misemo yao ni migumu kwetu. Tunaomba tufundishwe ili kwamba tukiendelea tunaweza kuwa na ile flow vile vinavyoenda. Maana tutaambiwa huu cash flow, si makofi mengi yanakuja ule upande wa dividend, lakini kinachoendelea mpaka tunapata hiyo faida ama hiyo hasara, tukiulizwa inakuwa vigumu. Tufundisheni tujue faida tunapata vipi na hasara tunapata vipi.
Yes, sasa asante sana kwa swali hilo. Tuko tayari. I hope this can be done during the education training, right? I can accompany the officer to come and now take you how these things we are arriving at these figures, so that you know how we are coming from income statement, we are going to balance sheet, we are going to cash flow, are now generating, you are now a profit for the year in terms of dividends and even interest expense. Ni sawa sawa. So tukipata hiyo wakati muru antaweza kuja kufanya hiyo, or my colleague will come, so that at least, nimeona pia ilikuwa kwa one of the resolution ya previous year that kwamba watu walisema the same thing that my brother has raised there. So that I think management, we are taking note of that, so that at least we enlighten each and every one of us, wajue what is happening and how we arrive at these figures. Asanteni sana.
Asante auditor. Naona kuna masomo hapo. Vile anasema mtu amekuja anataka 20,000 alafu ana add 0. So kama sako yetu tufikirie hiyo kitu. Ninaomba hivi, apply loan ama apply loan na mimi ni guarantor yako, what you do now, ninaomba nikigarantia wewe kama ni 20,000, let a message auma umegarantia Mr. Fulan ama Miss Fulan pesa fulani. Unajua hiyo sasa itakuwa digital. Hakuna vile ata add 0. Ikikuja 400,000 nitakata. I think hiyo itatusaidia.
Yeah, I like that. That's a very good concept. The other thing maybe personally you can do is that wakati amekuletea form, take it upon yourself. If you have a phone, take that picture. The moment umemalizana nayo, chukua hiyo picture. Because that is also a way of, making sure that you stay safe, isn't it? Because that's a very interesting bit. Otherwise, is there anybody else before we can proceed? Nani?
Hapo kulingana vile mwenzangu ameongea, kwa sako yetu, naomba watu wetu ni wazuri. Hiyo mambo haijafika hapo. Lakini ile kitu nilikuwa nataka kuomba ni hawa makarani wetu. Kabla mimi vijanga sijasainia George form, George anastahili kuniambia fulani ulimsainia form. Mlikubaliana ya kwamba ulimsainia pesa fulani. Hiyo sio kumuuza. Mimi sio mtu wa mbali kwa sababu nilijitolea nikamsainia. Hiyo sio siri ama sio kitu ya kificho. Kwa sababu nilikubaliana huyu ni member mwenzangu. George unastahili uniambie kama ni apply 50 nimekusainia 50. Usiende kuongeza 0 ziwe 100 ngapi? 60. Please, mnastahili kutu update.
Thank you. I think we are getting somewhere. I think in the education process, these are things we are going to put down and see how we can be able to make sure that our members are empowered. Okay? Let's move forward to Treasurer's report. And at this point, I'll invite our Treasurer, Jane Duku. Makofi, please.
Hello, members, once more. So my fellow cooperators and our guests from the Ministry of Cooperatives, it's my pleasure to present to you the Treasurer's report for the year ended 31st December 2025, highlighting the SACCO's performance, challenges, and recommendations. Additionally, I will present the revised budget for the financial year 2026 and proposed budget for the year 2027. I begin with the revenue and other income. Of course, these have been broken down, so I'm only giving an oversight. So at the financial year ended in December 2025, our total interest income reduced from majorly as a result of a reduction in interest on loans to members, which is a result of reduction in loan uptake. So this means that our loan taking uptake has reduced. So it is upon us, members. As we said, especially this year, this 2026, we have had good cash flows, so we invite you to take loans. However, our revenue received a huge boost resulting from interest incomes including from the interest investments and cooperative bank interim dividends. Members' deposits and loans. Even though there was an increase on members' deposits, I encourage members still on the minimum contribution point to increase their savings to build on the overall deposits, given that a number of our members have retired and others are retiring soon. So on this one, I'm also encouraging us, those who are still at the low contributing point, there's those who are still at the minimum contributing point, that is 2,000. We encourage you to increase your savings, assuring you that your money is safe. So I also want to assure our retiring members that their monies are safe and that no need of exiting the Sacco, as we have products tailored for them to continue enjoying our services. We already have some who are still our members, even after retiring, and we thank them for trusting us with their money. Jero has been here for the longest. We had invited 3 of them who have still with us. I still have 1 who retired and left us with their money. So we thank you for trusting us with your money, and there's no need of exiting the Sacco. We have a tailored product for them, and these are some of the issues that we will be telling you in our trainings. So whereas loans to members took a decline, we encourage members to continue patronizing our products. Expenses. Our expenses slightly increased by 0.4%, owing to an increase in administrative expenses. So these are carried out during the year. Despite all this, all expenses remained within the allocated budget. Active members, as of December 2025, stood at 87. Of course, a difference of the 7s because we recruited at the end of the year, we can all remember. So with an increase of 9 members compared to 78 members at the close of 2024. So it means we already have new members. And this year, 2026, we have not accounted in this. So we are still recruiting in more members. Some are still at the level of being recruited. So we continue with the drive. 2 members are still dormant, and the management is pursuing the issue. So the Sacco has organized for more recruitment drives come this year, 2026, to boost the membership. Recommendations. There is need to increase member education, especially on financial literacy, to create more awareness on loans uptake and other member services. I think this is in line with us having 6 million in the account and only 4 members taking loans. I'm surprised that, I don't know whether we answered him. Nobody came for a loan and was not given a loan. We even had money, but people were not coming for the loans. So only 4 members, you can remember even from that report, came for the loans, while 6 million was lying in the account. So maybe this perhaps due to lack of awareness, the pay slip restriction, of course. Even if we have that money, it has to be given with the right procedure, isn't it? We can't just give the loans. The pay slip and the processes have to allow. So maybe that was one of the reasons for that case. So 2026-2027 budget. No, before I go to that, sorry. There's also a need for more loan products and increased loan repayment duration from current period, depending on Sacco's performance index. Remember, our current duration is 36 months. So there's that suggestion of increasing that to 48 months, that is 4 years. But that is subject to Sacco's performance index because we can't just take such actions. It has to be the index has to allow. Because our main role is to ensure that our money is safe. So there will be those more, we encourage, or we need more loan products and increase loan repayment duration, if that will be allowed by the index. 2026-2027 budget, all Sacco activities are within the approved budget. So we plan to maintain this approach in this financial year, 2027. And lastly, the Sacco has shown strong financial performance, particularly in loan disbursements and investments. However, delayed remittances by the employer is still a challenge, though there was a great improvement in 2025. We could take years to get that money, but we have seen of late there is improvement. So the duration taken to get our money is shorter. But our prayer is that we get that money after every end of the month. That is our prayer, and we are still pursuing that. So I would like to take this opportunity to thank you, esteemed members, employees, the entire board, and the commitment shown in the year ended 31st December 2025. God bless Mtangazaji Sacco.
Thank you, Madam Treasurer. Proposer, we move as fast as we can. Proposer of the report. Okay. Nani? John Abduba. Seconder? Yes. Okay. Yeah. It's okay. Your name, so that they know. Caroline Wanyonyi. Caroline Wanyonyi. Thank you. Okay. Now we go to matters arising. Then, of course, we'll go to the to the consideration and adoption of the 2026-2027 budget. So, any matters arising from that report? I open the floor. It seems you're satisfied, eh? Or is there anything that you need clarification on? Well done.
Kwanza nimefurahia hiyo 11%, nilikuwa nimeota juzi, hata nikafanya hesabu yangu, nimefurahi sana. Swali langu ni kwamba kumesema kwamba watu wachache wanachukua mkopo, yani loan. Nafikiri ni kwa sababu mishahara yetu kidogo imedidimia, imeanguka kidogo kwa sababu ya payslip. Na ninapendekeza kwamba tunaweza kuwa na sheria kwamba ukichukua loan unaweza top up baada ya 1.5 years, unaweza chukua tena, kwa sababu ukingoja 3 years utazeeka ukingoja tena. So nilikuwa napendekeza kwamba tuchukue loan top up baada ya 1 year ama 1.5 years, ikiwa na percentage kidogo juu. Asante.
Okay, thank you. I think what Kirui has asked is already in our system. You can always top up your normal loan. Not unless you've never gone for that loan. You're always, there's that top up. And even, in fact, even if you get an increment and there's that, the payslip allows, you are free to.
Asante, niko na observation hapa hivi. Talking about labda increasing our contribution. I'm worried about our employer may raid on our payslips during this month. Kuna NSSF increment, alafu mwezi wa 4 kuna inaitwaje? Pension. So sijui hata tumechukua loan zaidi, sijui tutakatwa nini. Tuta avoid namna gani tukate kwa hiyo deduction zetu za share waingie labda kwingineko, because it has happened kwamba ni share contribution yetu ndio inapunguzwa ndio isuit kwa hiyo nini. Asante.
I think even for us to achieve the 5,000 minimum, we had to spread the way we were taking 1K from your dividends each year. So with that one, we'll still sit down and come up with what we are going to do so that we can accommodate, so that we just don't read once. We'll just need that period, how much we want to raise our share capital to. That way we can always plan.
I think that's okay. There being no other matter, I think we now proceed to the next stage. We'll try as much as we can to be able to squeeze what time we have. And this is for the consideration and adoption of the 2026-2027 budget. Karibu, Treasurer Jen.
Okay, I'm back, members. So we have the proposed budget. So do I start with approved? Do I start with 2025 or do we go to 2026? I read everything. If you are that patient, then I can read everything. So you have interest on roll members. 2026 proposed. Thank you. So proposed for 2026, approved was 3,200,000. Supplementary 2026, 3 million. Proposed for 2027, 3,200,000. Membership fees, we have approved for 2026, 15,000. Supplementary, 15,000. Proposed, 15,000. Co-op bank dividends, proposed 2026, we have 2 million. Supplementary, 2026, 3 million. Proposed 2027, 2 million. Refinancing fee, we have 100,000 approved for 2026. We have 150 as supplementary, and then we have 200,000 for 2027 proposed budget. M-Pesa income, 100,000 approved for 2026. Supplementary 100,000. Proposed 2027 100,000. Other incomes, no interest on investment, approved for 2026. Supplementary 2026 150,000. So we are aiming on getting that. Other incomes, we have 50,000 approved for 2026, then supplementary 50,000. Supplementary, then we have 20 proposed for 2027. We have risk fund, which is at 350 for 2026, and we are proposing the same for proposed 2027, 350,000. So that totals to 5,515,000 approved 2026. Those are all in total. Then 6,765,000 as supplementary. Then 5,885,000 proposed for 2027. That is the total, everything cumulative. Expenditure, we have salaries 800,000 approved for 2026, then 850 supplementary, then 800,000 proposed 2027. Office repairs and maintenance, 10,000. We don't expect to do much. That was approved for 2026, but we are longing to increase this to 50,000. Committee sitting allowances, approved 2026 is 350,000. The same continues as supplementary 2026, and then the same amount, 350,000, as proposed 2027. Education to members, you have 150 approved for 2026, and then proposed 2027, 400,000. Of course, we're expecting to conduct education to members. Bank charges, proposed 150, that's approved, sorry. Approved 150,000. And the same one has been proposed for 2027, 150,000. Hospitality expenses, 30,000. Proposed for 2027, 30,000. Branding, marketing, and advertisements, approved 2026, 100,000. The same has been proposed for 2027. External audit fees, it was rated at 40,000, approved, and then proposed for 2027 at 40,000. So printing and stationery, 10,000. You don't expect much to take place in printing. So 10,000, and then proposed remains 10,000. So airtime and virtual meetings, we have 40,000 approved for 2026, and then the same continues 2027 at the proposed budget. General expenses, we have 10,000. 10,000 has been proposed for 2027. Insurance scheme, we have approved for 300,000, and then the same has been proposed for 2027. We don't expect any changes with the schemes. Software maintenance, we have 100,000 supplementary. The same has been approved for 2026, and then 100,000 for 2027. Website and web hosting, 50,000, that has remained stable. So 50 proposed for 2027, 50 approved for the 2026. Contingency, we have 50,000. The same has been retained as our proposal for 2027. Depreciation at 50,000. The same has been proposed to 2027. Then provision for loss, 800,000. That's approved for 2026. And then the same amount has been proposed for 2027. So that totals to 3,440,000 approved for 2026, and then 3,640,000 for 2026 supplementary, 3,530,000 proposed for 2027. The floor is open to members.
Thank you, Treasurer. We'll have a proposer and a seconder. Proposer? Mm-hmm. Yes. Proposer? Nobody wants to propose? Yeah. Yes?
Iko kisungumkuti hapo kidogo vile treasurer wetu ametusomea. Treasurer amesoma, karani wetu iko mahali mumefeli kwa sababu treasurer anasoma, hakuna makaratasi yale nini wananchi nini members wanaangalia wanaona ile vitu imepungua na vile ngoja hapo nimeona sio watu wengi wako na hiyo nini brother, sio watu wengi hapo, muende muangalie. Wacha tukubaliane na hiyo kwa sababu vitu imepanda, maisha yameenda juu. Mimi nimekubali, nani hata niunga mkono, nimekubali. Hapo ndio mumeanguka. Munge print makaratasi ya kila mtu anaangalia mahali kitu kimeongezwa, cheni yameongezwa mshahara ama hiyo budget hajawekewa juji, hajawekewa hii, ndio tuangalie. Tukiangalia hapo ndio tunachambua, tuulize swali, mbona mumeongeza hii? Mbona last year hii kitu kilikuwa chini na mbona mwaka huu mmepandisha hii? Tumekubaliana na hiyo, please. Nani iko mwingine naongeza? Moa.
Yeye ni proposer. Seconder? Okay.
Okay. Allow me to say that because I was just, unajua when it comes to figures, some of us are from northern Kenya, so inatusumbua sana, but I soconned. Inaitwa nini? That's the word.
Thank you. Okay. Now, do you even need to go to the matters arising now? Matters arising, already Bichange alikuwa shaanza tayari. Okay. Matters arising. Mmemaliza. Okay, I had suggested that we take something before, and I'm seeing faces already drooling. Can we now stand kidogo tu, tusimame tu kidogo. Let's just stretch out. Naona tumeanza kuchoka sana. Let's just stretch out. Okay, let's put our hands kidogo namna hii. Haya, weka hapa mbele na mwambie kwende kabisa. Kwende kabisa. Haya, mwambie tena kuje. Haya, tena mwambie aende tena kabisa. Aende. Okay, let's do this. Okay? Nice. So, you can sit now. Yes. Okay, now it's my duty to call on the chair to welcome our DCO. Chair.
Good afternoon. Simechangamka. Sawa. So it's now my pleasure and humble duty to welcome the DCO, my sister Brenda.
Thank you so much, Chair. Is it still morning? Okay, good afternoon once again. Yeah, my name is Brenda Odera, Cooperative Officer. I believe we've met with most of us, but kwa wale hatujai patana, my name is Brenda Odera, and also welcome on board, wale ambao wana join in as new members. So first of all, it's just to commend this society for actually doing the AGM within the stipulated timelines, because we are guided by rules that states that within 4 months after the close of financial year, every cooperative society should have done their AGM. Na financial year ya cooperatives who kwa 1st January to 31st December. So the fact that you've done your AGM within the stipulated period is something that is commendable. Number 2 is also just appreciating you as the member for actually fulfilling your obligation. Because as a member of the society, there's an obligation that states that you're supposed to actually attend, not just attend, but also participate in the meetings that are being held by the society for the purposes of decision making for the benefit of the cooperative. So they, just by the fact that you spared the day today to just come and make decisions on behalf of the society is something that is quite commendable, because I know you could have been somewhere else. So another thing that maybe I'll talk about, and I believe it has been talked about already, so I'll just touch on it a bit, is for, I believe there are still about 18 of us who are still on payroll. I know for employee-based societies, we've had quite a lot of this issue with non-remittance. But I'm glad that your employee is actually doing something about it, because I saw that there was a good payment that he made. But that is not the case in other societies whereby we have such a big issue with the same. So for those who are still on the direct debit, on the payroll, if you're in a position to cross over to the other side with the people who are actually doing the direct debit, then I believe we can move together for the benefit of the growth of the society at a good rate. Also, there was something that was mentioned in regards to our members who are actually retiring. Even as we retire to Siende, don't come for your savings. There are still products there that are available. Na pia utapata a team ambayo itaku-encourage, because they are still also on board. So when you are retiring, please don't take back your resources. Kindly continue as a member, and you'll also be able to benefit from the products that are actually there. Another thing that I'd actually want to talk about, and the auditor also talked about it, is the issue of the share capital. And I know we are at this figure because I know it has been constant for many years, because we have not been improving our share capital. So good practice states that at least 10% of the total deposits should be equal to the share capital. So tuende hapo kwa financial statement, page 7. Page 7. Hapo kwa the balance sheet. So our total deposits is 40,972,304, sindio? Aya, tufanye 10% of that. Mnapata ngapi? Kuna mwenye amefanya? 10% of your 40 million. Is it 4 million? Member deposits. Unapata 4 million? It's about 4,097,230. So actually it will be good kama share capital yetu iko at somewhere there, because even as the deposits are increasing, it's also good practice that the share capital should also be increasing, because hizi ndo zile ambazo zina form, we call them the core capital of the society, because the core capital includes share capital na zile ambazo tunaita reserve. So in case of anything, iyo ambayo mko nazo hapo will be able to cushion you. In case of zile bad debts, you can be able to get some money from your reserves and be able to also do the same. And also for most of the societies, let's use a practical example, right? Our savings, we have 40,972,304. But our loans are at 44,803,385. Sindio? Iyo 4 million ya juu imetoka wapi? It has come from the reserves. You realize that most of the society, ile pesa ambao wanapeana above the deposit, it normally comes from the reserves. So it also means that I know there was a good increase in the savings, and also quite a slight increase in maybe the loan uptake, but we can still do better in terms of saving. The reason I'm saying this is, tulikuwa tumesema there is 6 million that is available for us, sindio, kutake in this financial year. Si tulikuwa tumesema hivyo? So if we do a small calculation, suppose if figure ambayo tuko nayo hapa 44 million, sindio? Suppose we are able to give the 6 million. Inamaanisha probably the loans would have been at maybe 50-49 there. So it basically means that hapo kwa the reserves, most probably we would have exhausted our reserves. Mmeona hivyo? So what we are trying to do is, in cooperatives, besides just the aspect of you getting affordable credit, besides you getting the dividends, we also want to ensure stability of a cooperative and also the aspect of sustainability. Ambapo mtangazaji haitakuwa just for now, but even as we continue, tutakuwa na ile financial stability. So it actually shows that we still need to do something about this. So with that, it basically means, I know we are saving, but we can still continue. Kama minimum ni 5,000, if you have the capacity to be able to give more, kindly give more so that we also are able to boost this deposit, ndo stretch sana into the reserves. That was also something that I wanted to mention. My colleague has talked about the issue of digitization. I know this was something that most cooperatives hawakuwa embrace sana before COVID. But when COVID came, ikaonyesha ya kwamba we need fast solutions to our problems, whereby some cooperatives were also able to do their meetings virtually. And you realize that also some societies, they were not able to recover from that time because of 1 or 2, 3 things. But I believe for us, we have that capacity. So let us try as much as possible to ensure that we have a digital way where we are doing our operation. And also it's good because for accountability purposes, tunaweza kuwa able kuona hii lingia hivi, ikamove ikaenda hapa, and all those things. So I believe it has already been talked about, but just a brief emphasis. So another thing that maybe I'd like to emphasize is the issue of compliance. We are urging many cooperatives on the aspect of compliance because it's a very key issue. We realize that on our database we have many registered cooperatives, but from the many registered cooperatives we also have many dormant cooperatives and also many cooperatives that are not compliant. So as per now, we are no longer registering SACCOs. As per last year, I think about May, from last year May, there is no savings and credit cooperative that has gotten their certificate, because there was still a discussion on the same to be able to know how is it that we can also be able to minimize this issue of many registered cooperatives, but they are not compliant. Because there was some report that was saying that regulated cooperatives, regulated ni wale ambao wako under SASRA. By SASRA, probably if you have deposits of 100 million and above, wale ambao wako diaspora na wale wa virtual based cooperatives. They are about 350, if I'm not wrong, because tuko na 176 wale ambao wana offer zile FOSA services kama the banks, if you've seen those SACCOs, na kuna wale pia tunaita non-DTs wako regulated but hawana hiyo FOSA. So we have probably around 350 of them, but the 350 are contributing probably more than 90% of the total asset base, yeah, cooperatives. So I believe those are part of the things that is making wale ambao wako pale juu kuangalia how can we be able to ensure this stability of cooperatives. Isikue today you are here and then tomorrow you are at this level. So with that also there was a circular that was sent last year around 30th of September, urging cooperatives that every cooperative should submit their annual returns. Every cooperative ambayo ilifanya the AGM should submit their annual returns. And it's actually serious because most of the cooperatives did not submit their annual returns. But it is that if you fail to submit those annual returns, you are at risk of probably deregistration, because we are trying to minimize as much as possible the issues of non-compliance. And also for bylaws here, I'd urge the cooperative, the bylaws are the constitution that guides us. So even for these resolutions that we are making, if there are any that applies to your bylaws, kindly ensure that the bylaws is consistent with what is happening in the cooperative, so that we ensure that smooth compliance for the benefit of the cooperative. So probably with that, I'll move to the resolutions bit. The resolutions bit, so we have a few resolutions. I'll start with the first one. There's a proposed resolution to increase development loan repayment period to 4 years from the current 3 years. So this is aimed at easing pressure on repayment of development loans, and also to encourage you members to be able to partake more of those of that loan products. So members, maybe, I don't know what you think about that, but that's the proposal. Yes? Microphone, I believe there's someone who's saying something there.
My name is Kakoma Isaiah, and I would like to say that it's a good proposal to increase the repayment period for that loan. I'd actually suggested it to one of our accountants, and he told me that they are working on that. So to me, it's good news. Thank you.
All right, so you propose? You proposed, okay. Can we have a seconder for the same?
I second, and it has been long overdue. My
Name?
name is Philemon Emongonyang.
All right, thank you. So we also have a resolution. I believe from the report, I believe it's the chairperson's report, where there was a mention of a microloan that has been introduced. So we also wanted to just adapt it here today, so that it's also captured in our records. So I'll give them the microphone to elaborate more, and after that, maybe we can have a proposer and a seconder for the same. Management team, any of you can respond? Yeah, credit.
Hello. Hello, members. Anyway, the essence of this micro loan is meant to address the financial or economic challenges we members go through before our parent, who is the employer, gives us the salary. Because we realized that before or the last week of the month, members are so strained to an extent that they want to get what I can call informal loans from other sources, so that they are able to finish the month. The working of this small loan is that it should be repaid within the month the loan has been taken. and the figure ranges from 1,000 to 9,999. In other words, we are trying to cushion members from the Shylock, because Shylock is more expensive. We are only taxing, I think, 5% from that loan, which is far, far much less than what the Shylocks are taking. By doing so, we will also be able to help the society get some income from it. That is the explanation I can give. And how to take it is we are going to introduce a form within the office where you go there, you fill, and you are given that loan on the spot to help you go home, because sometimes you get stuck here. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much for that clarification. So if it's okay with you members, then we can have a proposer and a seconder for the same. Ama mna reject? Name? Pardon?
Nilikuwa nauliza tu kidogo kwa hiyo form, je, kwa watu ambao wako outside the state ni BH mnasemaje?
We will make it digital so that you are also served. So you should not worry. A formula must be there to serve all members, regardless of where they are.
All right. We can also have a seconder for the same. I have a proposer. Seconder? Gina? Simeon? All right, thank you. So I'll go to the other resolution. That is on appointment of auditors. So currently we have the ministry auditors as our auditors, but they've also expressed interest to continue auditing us in the next financial year. So if it's okay with you members, then we can have a proposer and a seconder for the same. Name? Huncha. Huncha. Ni huncha ama ni hunja? Hunja. Hiyo jina. Aya, seconder. Apart from committee, conceptor. Sawa sawa. So for the next, nitaenda pale kwa distribution of surplus. So we have the dividends to be distributed. According to page 3, there is a dividend rate on the share capital, 14%, and the proposed dividend is 73,500 to be given at a rate of 14%, sorry. So if it's okay with you members, then we can have a proposer and a seconder on how you want us to distribute this. There are 3 options. Number 1, you can either be given your money. Number 2 is also plowing back. By plowing back, unasema iende pale kuboost the share capital, iende kwa the savings, ama iende kwa loan. Number 3 pia mnaweza peana kwa charity. There is a principle number 7 inaongelelea concern for the community. Mnaweza show concern by giving them the money. Mnataka idistributiwe aje? Ikue plowed back kwa share capital. Okay, so kuna conceptor.
Napendekeza tukule kwa sababu payslip kidogo imetulemea. Mwaka huu alafu mwaka ujao tuangalie mambo mengine.
tutavote. So Concepta na na Philemon wana propose plowing back. Aya, to plow back. Aya, kuna pia ya kupeana. Nani amepropose? Kirui. Kirui jina ya pili ni Kamau. Well done. Anataka apewe pesa yake. Second mwenye anataka pia apewe pesa yake juu ni kidogo. Juu payslip ni imekuwa ngumu. Baraza hu? George. Kuna wa charity pia. Mohamed unasema charity. By the way, we should introduce a product. We can introduce a Muslim product. It can also entice other people out there. Na Mohamed anaweza kuwa chief recruiter. Ambie marafiki zake tuko na ka product. So the committee wanaweza enda wafanye research, they see how the product can be introduced. And I believe it can be a marketing strategy out there. Kwa sababu wao wapati hata hii nini tunaongelelea distribution. So anyway, tuko na proposal ya mtu apewe pesa yake na kuna ile ya plowing back. Lakini kumbukeni tumesema pia share capital yenu iko chini. So you still need to think about mtaiboost aje because it's way below. It means that in case of any shock in this society, ile capital yenye tuko nayo haiwezi kutushield from anything. Aya, so Concepta na Philemon walikuwa nasema we plow back as share capital. Yes. Kirui, Weldon na Joseph Baraza wanasema wapewe pesa yao. So I think we'll use show of hands to determine this. Wangapi wanasema ikuwe plowed back? Tuko na 32 people wanasema ikuwe plowed back. Aya, wangapi wanasema wapewe hiyo pesa? So, what I'm saying is, ukisema upewe pesa yako, utapewa pesa yako. Sawa? But plowing back inamaanisha society, utakuwa umeambia society, hii pesa iende kwa my share capital, hii pesa inaweza enda kwa my savings, ama hii pesa iende kwa loan somewhere. But the proposal is, mnasema hii pesa ikuwe plowed back, at least iende kuboost zile share capital ya. It's just 73,500. To be given at a rate of 14%. Ni pesa kidogo sana. Okay, nimeelewa sasa. So, kwa distribution of surplus, tuko na distribution mbili leo. Najua zote mnaitanga dividends, but kuna tofauti. Dividend huwa inapeanwa on share capital, but kuna ile ya interest on deposits. Sijafikia hiyo. Sawa. So interest on deposit ambayo tutadistribute leo ni 2,98,325. Hiyo ni ya interest on deposit ambayo najua mnaitanga dividends, but there is a difference. Kuna hii ingine enye ambayo itapeanwa against zile share capital zenu kidogo. Sawa? Na ni figure ya 73,500. So ndo watu wana propose, juu it's a very small amount of money, acha iende somehow iboost ile share capital yenu mkifikiria how you'll be increasing it as we go by. Okay, sawa sawa. Moha anasema acha committee, they will clarify for you.
Please.
Yes.
It's like this. If your shares is 3,000 shillings, because most of us haven't reached 5,000. It's 3,000 shillings. Take 14% of 3,000. That's the amount you are talking about individually.
So hiyo ndo yenye utapata kama dividend. Simona ni kidogo. So tumeagree wote iende kuplow back, ikue plowed back. So at least there will be the change in the figure, but we need to think about how tuta increase as we go by. So ya pili, tuko na ile interest on deposits. Interest on deposits, the figure ambayo itapeanwa ni 2,098,325. I hope that's the correct one. It will be given out at a rate of 11%. So hii pia nitawauliza mnataka to distribute aje? Mnataka ikue plowed back pia? Mpewe ama mpeleke charity? Mpewe. By a show of hands, wangapi wanasema wapewe pesa yao? Aya, sawa. Proposer na seconder? Charity. Moha anasema ende charity. Aya, proposer wa kupewa? Name? Wanyonyi. Aya, seconder wa the same? Seconder mwingine? Kama hakuna seconder inamaanisha mmekataa. Yes? Iya nouma. Sawa sawa. Kuna pia another proposal ya ile provision ya honoraria. So hii kuwa just a small token of appreciation to the committee for the work that they are constantly doing to serve the society, to serve you the members, and also ensuring that the AGMs are on time, and also that the society is constantly growing. So maybe naweza pata proposal na seconder from you members ya kwamba mnataka wapewe ile ni 120,000. Moha. Your full names? Mohammed? Mohammed? Elmi. Seconder mwingine? Conceptor. Kuna pia ile staff bonus. It's also a small token of appreciation for the staff that have been serving you, staff wa society. So it's a token of appreciation ya 15,000 kwa staff. Maybe if it's okay with you members, tunaweza pata proposer na seconder kwamba wapewe hiyo. Wapewe. Acha nichukue bichanga. Seconder. Yes, name? Frederick. Jina ya pili? Ukunda. So I believe I've tackled honoraria. Kuna Mohammed Elmi. Alafu kuna conceptor Auma. Sawa sawa. So I believe all the resolutions have been captured. So tutaenda kwa the election. So according to the rotation rule, at least a third of the committee should be retiring every year, but as long as they meet the qualifications in the bylaws, then they are eligible for re-election in the society. So according to our rotation schedule, wale ambao watakuwa na retire this year, in the management committee we have Jane Nduku. You can wave to the members. We have Jane Nduku. Tuko na Linet Namai. Tuko na Ken Ariro. Those are part of the management committee who are retiring this year, and I believe eligible for re-election. In the supervisory committee, we have one, Mr. Rufus Hunja. You can wave to the members. Yes, He's retiring in the supervisory committee, but I believe also eligible for re-election. So what we'll do is we'll get a proposer and a seconder for each one of them, since they're eligible, and then we'll call for nominations from the floor. Kama mko na proposals, and then based on the mode ambao mta decide, then we'll vote and decide. But there are only 3 positions in the management committee and 1 vacant position in the supervisory. Concepta una whisper. Tosha. Bichanga.
Asante madam wetu cooperative, wacha nikae hapa. Bwana Njeru, mzee wa nyumba, nakushukuru sana. Sisi hatutaki election. Election tumekataa. Our committee yetu, Madam Chair, tunaiamini. Hii committee yetu, nipe dakika moja tu. Hii committee yetu, tangu tuifalise viatu, tangu last year, mpaka saa hii. Hatujaona yule amepeleka mwingine mkono, ama mwingine yule amenyemelea kapesa yetu amechukua, hatujapata hiyo ripoti. Sasa tulikuwa tumeamua, members, umekubali committee nini members wetu waendelee? Aya, pereka ndio auditors wetu waone. Pereka. Basi, kongoi.
So hata wakiwa unopposed, I still need a proposer and a seconder for each one of them. Ya kwamba unasema aendelee kuserve the society. Sawa? Aya, tuende kwa management committee. Jen Nduku, proposer, seconder, haraka. Gina. Aya, seconder. Name? John? Aya, Lynette Namai, proposer, seconder. Yes? Pardon? Seconder? Aya, Ken Ariro, Mohammed. Seconder, Bichanga. Aya, supervisory committee, Rufus Hunja, proposer, seconder. Uko mwisho? Seconder, Beatrice. All right, sawa. So tumepata proposer na seconder wa all the candidates. So they've been officially re-elected and opposed. We clap for them. Yes, continue serving the members as well as you are doing, because I can see that they have full confidence in you. So another thing that I'll urge us as the members of the society, I always tell the society that as a member of the society, you are the best marketer for your cooperative. So kama uko na ule rafiki yako ama ule colleague wako ambaye ana meet ile qualification ambayo iko pale kwa bylaw, that in case you can be a member, in case you want to be a member of the society, then you're supposed to be maybe an employee, ama a business person and all that. So as long as wana meet zile qualification, let us encourage them to come and also be able to enjoy the benefits ambazo tuna enjoy as members of the society. So thank you so much, members. I hand it over back to the chair. Thank you.
Makofi kabisa.
Thank you very much, Madam Brenda. And I think members, the way we've been told, and again, I appreciate you for the confidence and trust that you have for the members, for the team, leadership team that you've given us to work in Mtangazaji, for your welfare and make sure that your finances are well catered and cared for. So I think you've been sent outside there. There's no other person who is better to sell Mtangazaji other than you. So go out there. Our teams on the ground, just sell Mtangazaji. And there was that concern of Kirui. I would be lying if you tell me that there's someone who has applied for a loan, even 1 point something, and it has stayed a week. You'll be lying. So I want to challenge you. Whenever that, when you want to apply a loan, just apply that loan. You have the office. Some of you, you find you're calling me, Chair, niki apply your loan, si nitapata. Naambia, okay, umeapply, umeenda kwa ofisi. Anasema bado. 2 weeks down the line, unapata mtu anasema, hata nilikuwa nangoja ile loan, na unamuuliza, have you applied? Anasema bado. So let's apply that loan, apply tu kwa akili. And we have an office. They are always there. And I'm always reachable. And any of us here. I would like to say that we've never had money this year. We have. It's only you to come and apply for that loan. So msiogope, msiambiwe Mtangazaji hakuna pesa. Nani amekuambia? Of course, in fact, some of the surplus, we have to invest kwa the CICs. But what I want to emphasize this year, let the biggest beneficiaries ya loans na yenye tunapata interest from loans, ikwe loans yenye mnachukua, because that's our main goal. Sawa? I think that is, let's sell our, in fact I've brought my son in, he's also a member of Mtangazaji. He might be far, but he has to be, because this is what he educated him. In fact, we used to pick education loan in our somesha. So if we can have relatives, we can have colleagues outside KBC, let them come back. Sawa. Asante sana.
Makofi kwa Chair, Madam Chair. Thank you. At this juncture, we have almost come to the end of this AGM, and therefore I'll invite Bwana Joseph Napali for a vote of thanks, even as we proceed to wind up. Napali. Is there any other deliberation? Oh.
Hello. I think we are now coming to the close of the meeting. And since we are a creation of God, we first of all have to thank our Almighty God for having given us good health, time, our mind to be in this meeting today. All honor and glory goes unto him. We thank the officials from the ministry, from the cooperative society, our auditors, for having time to come and grace this event so that it is official. We thank for the officials of Mtangazaji for having done a good job for the last 1 year. I think we have posted good results. And I have to thank members for giving us an ease time, because in the past 1 year, I don't think I've had a case or a challenging case from members on how to serve him or her. I thank the officials in the office. They have been there for us. They have been there for the society. They have served us well. Where we have gone short, we will improve, because this year we have to improve the way we do our business. We thank you all, you members, for persevering with Mtangazaji I know there have been temptations from other societies to poach you, but we have to thank you very much for being there for the society. And we thank God because instead of reducing in numbers, you are increasing in numbers. Na Mungu ashukuriwe pamoja na nyinyi. Tafadhalini sana, tunawashukuru, tunawapenda, na tunashukuru kila mmoja wetu na hali ilivyo, na tutajaribu all we can this year to work with you. I know it is challenging the way you are saying that our pay slips are going to be raided. We will be there to work with you. Talk to us if there is any challenge. We sit down, we see how to navigate through it. Mungu awabariki sana. Na washukuru sana kwa kuja leo. Mkirudi nyumbani, murudi salama. Tuendelee kuonana. Na before I hand over to whoever is going to pray for us, the chairman, I think she has something to tell you. Please.
And I know the good news that you've been all been waiting, you'll be going home with your dividends.
I did not want to say, because I am not the chairman, but I had to let the chairperson announce it. Kwa hivyo hata mimi nafurahi, niko broke sana, lakini in the next few minutes I think I'll have one or two. Sasa si mbaya. Simushukuriwe kabisa. MC, please take over to finish the program.
More I can see you have a very burning issue, but we'll tackle it, no worry. Okay, at this juncture, I would welcome Lynette to pray for us, and also to pray for the tea, so that we can wind up as well.
Let's rise up, and as before I pray, I also want to thank you so much for the trust you have in us, for re-electing us back to the office. We are ready and willing to serve you even better. Let's believe and pray. Everlasting Father, in the name of Jesus, we thank you, we bless you, and we honor you. Thank you, Father, for the gift of life. Thank you, Ebenezer, for this, Father, that you have brought us as Mtangazaji Sacco. We give honor and glory back to you. Lord, you have always lifted us up from one glory to another. And we don't take it for granted, Jehovah, because you are always there for us. And your word says that, my Father, there is nothing impossible with you. And we know that, my Father, even we are going to rise even higher. We are going even to declare even higher dividends even in the coming year, because you are our God. Thank you, my Father, for the management. Thank you, Lord, even for our auditors. Thank you, dear Lord, even for our members. My Father, may you continue uniting us with cords of love that shall never be broken. Dear Jehovah, even my Father, for the tea that we are going to take and the snacks, how I pray that you are going to bless it before we take, Jehovah. My Father, and even as your people travel back to various places, and especially those who have come from the outside stations, may you grant them journey mercies, Jehovah. We thank you, we bless you, we honor you, for it is in the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit we pray with thanksgiving. Amen. Asante.